Shabbat Shalom, family. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
We are beautiful land at Temple Kifarim. And we're so happy to have you today to accompany us, to join us for another Shabbat day lesson. May the Most High be praised.
Accompany us to join us.
Thank you. The name of the lesson is Can Hebrews Marry White People? Now, I said white people specifically because sometimes men marry women and sometimes women marry men. Black women marry white European men, and then black men marry European women. So I put it specifically that way. Can they marry white people? Is it lawful? Is it something that's accepted by the Creator for Hebrew Israelites to marry outside of their race? Basically, is outside of their race. It could be any people, but I specifically use white people. And we're going to have a whole lot of conversation about this in time to come. All right. We're going to start off our readings in the book of Nehemiah. Nehemiah is very important. We left off in the 8th chapter, so we're going to pick up where we left off. Nehemiah chapter 8. May the Most High be praised. Now, just for groundwork, so everybody understands, I don't have anything against Europeans. I don't have anything against white people. I don't have anything against Africans. I don't have anything against Arabians, Korean, Chinese, Filipino, whatever you are. I don't have anything against any people because I know that within those nations of people, there are still good people. You know, there are some good people in all of those nations of people throughout the earth. And when I say good people, I mean people who have great concerns for the welfare of the black man and the black woman. There are a lot of other races who care more for your people than a lot of our people that look just like us and that are our people. So just because we're using this type of scenario, this type of title, it doesn't mean that we hate anyone. It doesn't mean that we're wishing death on anyone, any of those things. None of that is what this is about. This is not a hate lesson. Okay, this is truly about what the Most High has for us as his people. And we all know that the Most High's way is the best way. Not our own way, not our own desire, but the Most High's way. We all know that his way is the best way, right? So we're going to read about how our ancestors, our forefathers back in the time of Nehemiah and Ezra, how they did what they did by marrying Europeans and outsiders, outside people, outside of our culture. And we're going to read about some of the prohibitions that the Most High put in place for any Israelite to marry outside of their race. It was so strong with the Most High that he had established that you shouldn't even marry outside of your tribe, let alone outside of your race. He didn't even want us marrying outside of our tribe. So you know how you feel about us marrying outside of the race. So may the Most High be praised. And at this portion of our day, how we start our Shabbat day, Shabbat Shalom, Sister Gabby. May the Most High be with you. She's the only one that I can see in the text messages that has made herself known. I'm sure there's others. There's probably many others, but she's the only one I've seen that has typed in the room and has addressed the family. So Shabbat Shalom, sis. All right. So we're going to start off our day by acknowledging the Most High, by giving him praise, by thanking him publicly for whatever it is that the Most High may have done for you through your day, through your week, through your year, and how you feel in reference to the Almighty, how he has done something special or what you may have learned special this week, or the interactions that you may have had that you feel special, that you want to acknowledge it before the family on this day. So may the Most High be praised. Toda Rabbah. Shalom, shalom. All right. So does anyone like to go first? And if you're not on the platform, family, you can just type it in the room and we can bring it up to the platform, or you can speak it. I'm going to send the link where you can actually hit the button and come in and you can speak whatever it is that you feel you want to speak. You don't have to be seen on the camera if you choose not to be. or if you want to be, then you can be seen on the camera. So may the Most High be praised. Who would like to be first? Would anyone like to thank the Most High, or do I need to go first? Ima, I don't know if you're speaking. I think I see your lips moving, but Shabbat Shalom.
Speaking of my sister's texting me.
All
Like
right.
Gabby's. Coach Gabby says, I am thankful for restoration from the Most High, providing reliable yet stylish transportation for me and my boys.
May the Most High be praised. Total Rabbah. She said, reliable yet stylish. Wow. Can't wait to see what we working with. It's reliable and stylish. Most people just got to take one or the other. Sis been blessed to get both. Reliable and stylish. May the Most High be praised. Why she pull up with a Bentley? I'll be like, ew, come on now. She got a Bentley. All right. Anyone else want to thank the Most High at this time for anything special? Sister Gabby says, Emma.
Sister Gabby says, I'm thankful to see the seeds we planted finally growing too.
All right. May the Most High be praised. Total Rabbah. All right, come on now. Let's get into this groove, y'all. Let's get this rhythm going. Let's shake and bake and everybody moving around. Come on, let's do what we got to do. Anyone else want to thank them? I mean, you know what? I'm not going to ask anybody else. I'm going to just stay here and wait. Y'all.
I can go.
Yeah, y'all act like y'all don't. This king ain't did nothing for y'all recently. The Most High ain't did nothing for y'all to make y'all want to say thank you, Father. Oh, man.
The Most High has kept me and my family throughout the week, alive and well. Baruch atah. He has blessed me with a wonderful husband, a wonderful sister wife, a wonderful family, wonderful friends that I still keep in touch with. He has blessed me with life, and I can't ask more than that. And I'm just thankful to be here and to still be in the land of the living.
All right. May the Most High be praised. Anything special happen in your week this week that you want to acknowledge the Most High in reference to?
Anything special?
Outside of the ordinary?
All
right.
Well, my husband came home and got me something.
We talking about all that. Anybody need to know that? That's privacy.
Oh, well,
You just talking about something the Most High might have done for you.
well, I would say he worked through my husband, but
Okay.
okay. Other than that, I mean, I see. I don't like to say like he ain't done nothing special because just me being here is special. Me being here and living is special. So that is mercy right there every single day. So I don't like to say he hasn't done anything special, but anything, let's say out of the ordinary, like you said. I can't think of anything right now, but I am, like I said, very grateful to still be here. That cannot be taken for granted, especially with the past few family members that have passed away recently. So a few older people in my family, it just can't be taken for granted. So, yeah.
All right. May the Most High be praised. Total Rabbah. Emma?
Sister Gabby says, thankful to get through the stressful week and this stressful statistics class.
Special statistics class. Okay. Yeah, I remember statistics. Very difficult. If you stay focused, though, it's very simple. May the Most High be praised. Statistics, you got to think outside the box.
Statistics is the devil.
Yes.
You just got to think outside the box and relax, and you'll get it. When you try to make it make sense according to how people move and how people think, then you're going to have a problem. May the Most High be praised. Total Rabbah. All right.
I guess I can go. Total to the Creator for allowing me to be here today on this Shabbat day. Shout out to the Most High for life, for breath, for shelter, for the rain that we've had that helped to nourish our garden. Shout out to the Creator for the sun that we've had to help nourish the garden. Praying that the Most High allows us and our garden actually to produce and flourish this season. And so we can have food to eat from the ground versus getting back and forth into these stores. Just thankful to the Creator for everything that He has, just blessed us with this season. Even through separation of time and space and people, the Most High continues to shine His blessing upon us and give us what we need. So I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful to the Creator for my parents, for their legacy, for their memory, for all the things that they have blessed us with and are providing my siblings and I with through their life choices and challenges. Thankful for the Creator for blessing me with my Ish and, the conversations we have, the dialogue of life and understanding that, choices and mates and marriage and all these things go deeper than just a certificate or just saying, hey, I'm married. But when you make that choice, you have to truly understand that that person either is for or with your vision and is going to elevate you and support that vision, because it's a hard road if two people are going separate ways, or if one person is halfway in and one person's halfway out, because the struggle becomes harder. So I'm thankful that the Creator has blessed me with the Ish that in so many ways, our vision is kind of balanced, especially when it comes to the fruition of land and the possibilities of what we can do for the people, for the nation. It's hard for people to grasp the concept that, when you're talking about being for the people and being for the nation, that's truly what your mission is. Then those small little, the things that you romanticize about in life become smaller, because the bigger picture is about the entirety of the people, not just yourself. So, I meditate on that a lot. And I meditate on it because the world tells you that this is how this is how marriage is supposed to be. This is how, you're supposed to be going on vacations every year, or living in this type of house and driving this type of car, or marriage is supposed to be so many things. And I started to actually meditate on my parents' marriage and how they met and how an elder intervened and, caused them to meet. And their marriage was built on the people and, doing and grinding and fighting for the people. And they did that, each one of them, as I watched them take their last breath, I knew that that was what they were thinking about, not just their children, but the state of the people. And so when I have my doubts about certain things, I look at them as a mirror, as a reflection, to know like it can be done and it's possible. My parents would have been married for 48 years when my father passed. And for them to go through the things that they went through, I know that the little things that, we all go through in our relationships and marriages, if they could withstand, going to prison, being underground, arrest, all type of things, then, we could withstand so much more. But it takes a strong mind. It takes a willed person to want that, to be that with one another. So I'm thankful for that great example I had. As a child, I didn't understand it, but as an adult, I so appreciate it. And I yearn to be able to sit and talk to them about how did they work through those battles together? How did they talk through them? What made them, keep going together in those processes? But I'm thankful, for the example yet again. And I pray that, I can be as strong in that example for my children in my marriage. I'm thankful for my sister wife. I'm thankful for all the children that, are a process or a part of this union that we all have. I'm thankful. This week has been, to be honest, it was very beautiful, pleasant, so many other ways on one end, with my each being here and just accomplishing a lot of things together. But then it was very troubling spiritually and testing spiritually. And the one thing that I felt, one great thing that I felt in it when I spoke to my children about some of the things that was happening, the loyalty that they showed for my husband and I was simply amazing. And, to know that, my children look to us and know that we're doing the right thing is a pleasant feeling, beyond what other people may do or say or not do or not say. To have your children trust in you and your decisions, and to see that, you are doing righteous regardless of what other people are doing, is a blessing, is a gift in itself. And I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful to have, the children I have. I'm grateful for my siblings. It's also been a stressful week because next Sunday we'll be doing the celebration of life for my father. So we've been just gathering information, sitting amongst each other, trying to finish obituaries and programs and all these things. Over 400 people have RSVP'd to his celebration. So it's stressful trying to just make sure that, we can accommodate and give back to the people like my parents have. It can be a heavy load at times. And so we're just, it's been stressful in that. And I won't say stressful as in a bad stressful, just overwhelming to do this process once again. And so I'm grateful that the Most has placed it in us to do it, and that we didn't have to, have anybody else to speak or do for our parents, that we're able to come in and represent them in the way that they represented for us all those years. Other than that, I'm thankful for life. I'm thankful for the health of so many people, and the Most High extending life, giving life, and just blessing each and every one of us with life on this day, and to praise Him in all we do. Zehu.
All right. The Most High be praised. Total Rabbah. You said a whole mouthful. She said a couple things, though, that I wanted to talk about. Shabbat Shalom, Sister Aisha. Shabbat Shalom. Mr. Otter, Shabbat Shalom. May the Most High be with you. All right. You want to read Sister Gabby's and all them comments before I continue?
Cain. Well, some of those comments were just them talking through, but this comment, Sister Gabby says, one last thing and I'll be quiet. I'm thankful for the prayers from the house of Prince Kazaradar. I believe my blessings have come from behalf of your prayers. I love you all. Total Rabbah.
Whoa, I didn't even read that. She made me start crying. You can bring some tears in my eyes. I got to wipe them tears out. Wow. She said, I believe my blessings have come from behalf of your prayers. Ain't that deep? All right. Most High be praised, and thank you for the compliment. All glory, all honor, all praise go to the King of all creation. Yot says Ivaot, the Creator of hosts. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom. And Sister Aisha says, I am thankful for vision and gifts, abilities from the Creator. I am thankful for my children and their gifts from the Creator, and I'm thankful I can identify them and validate them.
May the Most High be praised. When are you going to share some of them visions and gifts with us, sis? We can use some of that information. So when you get a chance, you share some of that powerful stuff with us that you have validated so that we can recognize, because if we got a prophet that's strong in the midst of us, it needs to be brought to the forefront. May the Most High be praised. Toda Rabbah.
And Chief Malak says, Baruch Shemon, Shabbat Shalom. Prince Casway Lacole. And says, I am thankful to the Creator for the opportunity to be thankful. Thankful to the Creator for the lives of my mother and loved ones. Thankful to the Creator for seeing another Shabbat day. Baruch Shemon.
May the Most High be praised. And with Chief's permission, we would like to keep him in our prayers as well, him and his family. You know, him and his family would be in need of prayers if he would allow that to be. May the Most High be praised. Toda Rabbah. All right, family. Anyone else want to thank the Most High for anything special? So I want to acknowledge some of the things that my wife, she wrote about. You know, she spoke about her parents. Her and I had a conversation this morning. It was a very interesting conversation. It's one of those conversations that a lot of people don't think about. And a lot of people don't take to heart when they have family. So I'm trying to find the proper wording to put all this in place to make it make sense to you all. And I'll put it to you like this. Our conversation this morning was about if either of us was to pass away, how would what we leave behind be distributed within our families? That's what the conversation was about. And today I just heard her, and a lot of people don't think like that. Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Otter, Toda Rabbah. A lot of people don't think about how they would, or if they even have anything to leave behind for their children. 90% of us Black folk don't have anything to leave behind for our children. Shabbat Shalom, Aim. Shabbat Shalom, Brother Paul. 90% of us have nothing to leave behind for our children. Most of us don't even think on that level of leaving anything behind for our children. So take into consideration what this lesson is about to bring forward right now, family, and what I'm about to speak on. Imam Sukari, Shabbat Shalom. If you were to pass away right today, what have you left behind for your children, your Yeladim? What have you left behind for your friends or your loved ones, those who you care for? And sometimes you might even be leaving things behind for your family members. And you all know that we teach here for everyone should have a life insurance policy in place so that you can leave something behind for them to grow and prosper and give them a head start that you did not have in this life for the most of us. But I want to talk about her parents for a minute. Her and I have been married now for, if I say something and I'm wrong, I'm going to get beat up later. So I'm going to just, a long time. A long time. Let's put it this way, almost 10 years. I'll leave it like that. That way I'm in a safe space, you know. I think I know, but you know, we men, we always think we know something. And then the women be like, no, this might what mean. Yeah, so I'll just stay in a safe place and I'll say almost 10 years. But I want to talk about her parents for a minute. As you all know, well, not all of you, most of you probably don't know, but her parents that she spoke about, she spoke in her speech or her portion that her parents had dedicated their lives. Their whole lives was dedicated for the uplifting of Black people. You may not never even know their names, but you will definitely receive a portion of the benefit of what they've done in their lives to help your life to be a lot easier and simpler. See, that's what true legacy is all about. It's about what you leave behind for others to build, to learn, to grow from, and to help them in life. So now let's speak. Her mother and father was people who sacrificed their lives for people they didn't even know. Just people of color. They didn't have to know who you were. It's just a simple fact that you were born in this dark skin and here in the land of captivity. And they sacrificed their lives to get you to a place where you could be comfortable living and doing what you're doing right now. So to me, in my mind, they didn't leave behind a whole lot of physical possessions for people to argue and squander and fight over. But that's where our minds are usually at, thinking about leaving behind some buildings and some cars and jewelry. And that's where we are focused on. Our minds have been programmed to focus on acquiring all those things. But those things you can't take with you. But your good works, your good deeds, your love for the people, all that goes with you. And it accounts in the next life for a blessing upon your soul. All that wealth you got, all those things you obtain, those things don't go with you. They get left behind. And people you didn't even like most of the time, or even know, most of the time, they get the benefit off of all your hard work. All the things and efforts that you put into this life, when you pass, your house, somebody's going to be living in it 20 years from now that you don't even know. That ain't even in your family most of the time. Your car, somebody's going to be driving it in a couple of months that you don't even know, never even imagine. It might be your neighbor next door that you didn't even like or didn't like you. Not that you didn't like them because you don't have that type of spirit, but they didn't even like you. You know, these things that we drastically kill each other for, we fight for, we hurt people for, we talk bad about people for, we steal from people to obtain, you know, we jeopardize people's life and healthiness to acquire this thing, all these homes and cars, and we can't do anything with it when we're gone. And a lot of people that benefited from it are people who despised you. But however, your children, what is the legacy that you're leaving behind for your children? 90% of us don't own nothing. We might have a little raggedy car. You know, we might have a little car, a couple bikes, maybe a motorcycle. But 90% of us, people of color, we don't own almost nothing. So now, what are you truly leaving behind? And I'm speaking about her parents, what her parents did. As we were speaking today, my wife, and even in her speaking today, she spoke about loyalty. Well, loyalty is not something that you're just going to get from your mother and father and sister and brother if they don't have it in them. See, there's a lot of people right now that don't understand the principles of loyalty because the family that they come from did not show them what loyalty was. They didn't show them what it was. A lot of people will up and run from house to house to house to house, leaving all their responsibilities behind them. All the commitments and pledges and lives that they swore themselves to, they'll walk away from because they wasn't taught what loyalty truly is. And the sad part about it is that they won't even see it. These are generational curses that's upon us. You are just like your parents and don't even know it. And you don't even try to break the cycle because you don't understand that you got that sickness within you that weakens the nation. Her parents wasn't like that. Her parents left a legacy behind. I mean, something powerful. It taught their grandchildren are even affected because of what they done in their lives growing up. They know what loyalty is. They know what respect and honor is. I remember one time these children, her children, they was arguing and fussing with us because they didn't see an example of righteousness in Israel for the majority of Israel. They were fussing with us about that. And I understand. They used to be on these groups with all the other Israelite children, where they used to be on YouTube and Facebook and all that stuff, and they would have their meetings, and then they would present us with information. And the part of the majority of the information was that we are failing them. And we're failing them because we're not teaching them. Sure, we got Shabbat services set up all around, but where's the loyalty? Where's the consistency? Where's the dedication? Where's the love? Where's the humility that we're teaching them? But their grandfather and their grandmother taught them all that stuff. So it's not that they don't have it, because they do. The problem is most of us don't have it. We don't know what true commitment means. It means once you commit yourself to something, you stay there, you stay with it until it's done. And when it's done, you won't even know, because you've been passed on to the next life. Ask yourself how many things you have been committed to in your lifetime. And I don't mean you've been a part of, because a lot of us been a part of, I had this job, I had that job. I was talking to a brother the other day, and I said to the brother, I said, yo, bro, you done had a lot of jobs in your life. He said, yeah, I did. I did a lot of different things, and he did. But he's dedicated his life to one particular thing right now, and he's fulfilling it, and he's living it out. What have you dedicated your life to? What have you done to be your life's works that you can step back and leave it to other people to benefit their lives? And from your hard work and your sacrifices, how have you helped somebody else to come up? Because that's what our parents did. And you heard us say it. They was on the run most of the time, living under the ground most of the time, getting locked up, thrown in jail. Both of them was incarcerated. Both our parents. Both of them was incarcerated, mother and father. Matter of fact, her mom was incarcerated pregnant. You see, this is some stuff. This is commitment. But you got people complaining about the smallest of things, and they decide they want to up and move, up and run, up and go. Where's the loyalty at in all of this? We supposed to be in this together. We supposed, well, you don't, he don't, or she don't like the way you came out of the house dressed this morning. So all of a sudden they don't want to be your friend no more. What type of stuff is this? And we're supposed to be loyal. Brothers sleeping around with this brother's wife, and that's supposed to be his man. What type of stuff is this? There's no loyalty. It's too much individuality. I was talking to a brother just yesterday. I think he's here. He was here. Paul Birdsong. He was here, right? And Paul Birdsong, him and I never had this conversation about what I'm about to express to you right now. This brother is a part of the Black Panther Party in California. He's a part of the Black Panther Party. So we was talking, and he was telling me that one of the problems that they have is with this new generation of people. They don't want nobody telling them what to do. They don't want to follow instructions. They don't want to follow leadership. Everybody want to do what's in their own minds, to do what they think is the best for them. And he hit it right on point. And we never even had this conversation. And that's exactly what's taking place in the nation today. But we can't blame the youth. We got to look at ourselves, because we did not teach them what loyalty, what commitment, and what truth was about. We did not teach them. Therefore, we can't get angry with them all the way. You know? My hat is off to you brothers who are out here putting the work in. And you young brothers who are willing to sacrifice, to hear the right path and the best way for you to live, and you're living it, and you're making that sacrifice day in and day out. My hat is off to you, because I know that there are some young brothers and sisters out here that are willing to make the sacrifices because they can see the overall picture. And they can see what's needed to be done. Today, we are an immediate gratification type of people. That's why we use microwave ovens, because we want our food done instantly. We don't want to work hard by cooking it on the stove or putting it in the oven and trying to wait for it to get done. We want an instant turnaround. Microwave oven, bing! Somebody tell you, well, you know that microwave oven is killing you. I don't care. I want my food and I want it now. And that's what we do. It's killing us. But we would rather lose our life for comfort and immediate gratification than to do the hard work, put the work in, walk the ground, put the hard work in and get it done and accomplish it by our own hands and leave something for somebody else for 1,000 generations. Her father and her mother has embedded something in them, all of their children. They have embedded something in all of their children, who will embed something in all of their children, who will outlive even them. What have you done? How have you left a legacy behind? How have you taught your children? What did you teach your children? How to argue with your wife? How to not pay bills? How to smoke weed? How to be a crackhead? What have you taught to your children to leave behind to make them to be a better prophet for humanity in the years to come? At least for your people in the years to come. What type of discipline did you install because you had discipline within your own actions? Who did that? What have you done? What have you left? What consistency have you shown through your actions? We got one sister on this line. I ain't gonna call no names because I ain't ready for that. But we got one sister on this line. She got about 5 children, maybe. Maybe she got about 5 children. And all the mistakes she made in life, we didn't have that talk. We passed the mistakes. We in the healing process now. All those children she got in her life, a bunch of deadbeat dudes who supposed to have been upstanding men. And now she left with the struggle of raising these children on her own. But I got to applaud her. You know why I got to applaud her? Because she's fighting the fight. With the dudes, they up and ran and on to the next chick to impregnate somebody else and keep it moving, but they call themselves men. That's not how men are supposed to conduct themselves. That's not how a man is supposed to move. You make that seed. You're supposed to provide and take care of that seed. And if you can't get along with that woman, take your seed with you. That's the way it goes. That's what it's supposed to be. But we ain't got a lot of that right now. We don't have a lot of what we call to be men today. I'm going to put the link in the room. Anybody that want to come on and speak on this issue, you have the link. You can come on and you can speak for yourself. Let your words be heard. You don't have to turn your camera on if you don't want to be seen, but you can come in and speak from the background. Let me tell you something, man. Her parents was an example for all to see. Her parents was a great example for the earth, especially our people, to see what sacrifice brings about. They didn't leave behind a whole lot of physical money so people can go to school and be indoctrinated even more. They didn't do that. They did the teachings through their life. They made the sacrifices through their life. But what sacrifices are you making today so that your children's life will be better in the years to come? Consistency. They was married over how long? 48 years, she said. 40, what? That's consistent. They stayed in this way prior to them being married. So that was over 48 years. That was consistent. They remained in that life past their death. And how did that life serve them? They was on a run. They was hiding, living in abandoned houses, sleeping in cars sometimes so that they would be safe, so that they could survive. They did what they had to do to be able to reach you and I, so that we would be benefiting from their lives today. So in my mind, they were rich, extremely wealthy, extremely wealthy. We chasing after all this physical stuff. Like this brother I just told you about, this brother Paul right here, right now. He left his life in California to come here to Philadelphia to work on behalf of the people. You understand what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. That's sacrifice. I had brothers come to me talking about, yo, man, I wanted to live on some land so I could serve the people. Where they living at now? Where they at now? Are you still being dedicated to what you said you were going to do? A lot of people move on in that area of life of fulfilling what they call their life's mission. And then after hard times, they abandon it. That ain't nothing but the Most High testing you to see if you really the one, to see if you really about it. And a lot of us are not really about it. We're about it as long as we can have a smooth run. But don't have no money in your pocket for a while. I never said nothing about not eating. I never said nothing about not having a place to live. I didn't say anything about that. I said not having no money in your pocket to do the things that you think you need to do. Try to go without having some money chasing after the European's dream, because that's what a lot of us do. And that's where we fail, that causes us to be failures in life, because we're chasing after what the boundaries that they established and said, this is what life is all about. So I got to have some KSF. Well, Prince, I just need enough to take care of myself. You had that. You got that. You can have that. It can come. That's simple. You can have enough to take care of yourself, but what happens is our desires outweigh that. We go beyond that, and we begin to desire the things that the European told us we needed in life for our survival, and that's not what the Most High said. That's why so many of us fall short, because our expectations are unrealistic. So I got to go somewhere and I got to do something where I can get all the things that I feel I need for my life, not realizing that everybody you know that are wealthy, and I'm going to say this and I'm going to say it real clear. Everybody most of us don't know wealthy people, but the people that you do know that are wealthy, they didn't inherit that overnight. They didn't hit the lottery. They were consistent with building what they had to build. It took years of consistency and labor, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of them doing what they did. Very few of them, almost none of them, hit the lottery and instantaneously overnight became wealthy. Their lives had to be a consistent life. And guess what? It was consistent in failure, but they didn't give up. Hard times stayed against them. Difficult times was always present, but they didn't give up. And eventually the sacrifices that they made, it paid off. And now you, poor, broke, no go, no drive, no consistency, then had about 60 jobs and you ain't but 25. You'd have had about, maybe about 35. They're probably about 35 by now. Ain't have no job. And I'm saying 35 because at 25, you usually just graduating school. You just usually just getting started in your life around 25 as a man. And then by the age of 35, by 25 to 35, you done had about 16, 20, 30 different jobs, still seeking and searching how you're going to come up, how you're going to make it, how you're going to do it. Now imagine if you would have started at 25 and moved on some land and stayed consistent with it. You grew some food, you planted some food, and every day you will go out and water that food, and that food began to bring forth its yield, its increase unto you. You can live off the land. But the Europeans got you thinking that the only way you can live is you got to eat meat. Not the point, meat. You got to eat meat. And if you ain't got no meat from a store, and then you got to have all the other delicacies to go with it, now you got to go out and get a job to fund that desire of your life. And if you ain't got a job, you ain't got enough, you think you broke. And meanwhile, you got 3 and 4 different children that you got to feed. And if you keep giving them the ideal and the conception that life is about how much money you make, how big your house is, how nice of a car you drive. Now, if you keep giving them that perception, your children are going to grow up with that same perception, that same understanding. Those 2 people that I just mentioned earlier, my parents-in-law, on that side of my family, their children are now prospering now today. The majority of them are now prospering today in life. And I'm talking about prospering, not just doing good. They're prospering, the majority of them. And then some of them got degrees, lawyers and doctors, and some of them got degrees. But the point that I'm trying to make is that they instilled something within their children that their children can take with them forever and hand down to their children and their children's children and children's children's children. And when they look back to where it all came from, the source where it all came from, they were physically poor people that you will look at and say, damn, they ain't got no money. I don't want to live their life. but they were rich. They were rich in all the qualifications that was needed to pass down to your children, things that they can take with them forever. Powerful blessings. What do you got to leave to your children, family? Your children still fighting with each other. My wife's family and I don't mean to spend all this time on the family because that's not what this message is about. My wife's family are so strong, and I'm happy to be able to say this. Every time I go to a family function, I'm meeting somebody new. This is my uncle. This is my cousin. They not even by blood. This is my brother. This is my no blood relations. How are they your uncles, your cousins, because they were born in this company, in this union, in this community. They were born in this. And they don't take the title of just, oh, that's my friend. I never heard that coming out of my wife's mouth about anybody that I met by way of family. She always had a title of bloodline to it, but they wasn't her blood. Because that's how they see each other. This is my sister. This is my uncle. That's my aunt. That's my great aunt. That's my great grandmother. And that's how she do it. And these people ain't got no blood relation to them at all. But because their grandfather or their mothers or fathers sacrifice for the union of these people, of our people, of us today, then they have now been grafted in and been not notified as being family. That's some powerful stuff. We today, we don't know how to do that, just being black folk. We don't know what that's about. But it's a beautiful thing to me. When she get to speaking about, I know y'all be something, here she go talking about her parents again, because they were some wonderful people. The mom, I never even met the mom. The mother passed before I came, like a year before I came in. And I can only imagine, I seen them, they painted, her mother was so known in Atlanta, they painted a whole picture of her downtown Atlanta somewhere on the wall. They put a whole picture of her up. That's how well known and how many people she helped through her life. And she was a poor woman. When I say poor, I mean she was a poor woman. I don't mean she was destitute, out and done. I mean, she didn't have a whole lot of KSF to leave behind and say, here, this mine, this mine, this mine, this mine, this mine. Because if she did, she still wouldn't have anything of her own because she's so busy giving it out. I see a spirit. I see a spirit in her children. They're so busy doing so much for so many people that they don't take the time to acquire all that stuff to themselves and say, this is mine. But they could, but they don't. They take what they take and they share it with everybody else. So they're leaving behind lessons to their children, to their children's children, their children's children's children for 100 generations to come. That's way more powerful than a rich man leaving behind $1 billion for his son, and his son's son don't get to enjoy it because his father tore it all up and it's all gone. We got to start thinking, family. We got to start thinking. We got to put our minds together and we got to change this cycle of life that we've been in for so long because it's not working. It's not working. We're looking for that immediate gratification and that ain't the way it go. That ain't the way it go. Iman, I need you to read these comments. Are you able to do that?
Okay.
They start way up there somewhere, way up there somewhere. I just been rapping for a minute now.
I'm going to it.
Gabby gave a thankful to the creator. She gave a couple.
Yeah,
So if you,
I read those already.
you did, who you read them to?
I read it. I read them.
Okay. I'm gonna leave it up to you. I'm gonna get out the way. Do your thing.
Okay. Brother Paul Birdsong says Shabbat Shalom. Aim Keter, Shabbat Shalom family. Ima Sakari says Shabbat Shalom family. A quote Aisha says, they say 6 to 7 years is a tough one. Make it or break it. May the Creator bless your union with clarity, comfort, understanding, intimacy, and pure happiness.
What about great wealth? What about some wealth? We're going to leave some wealth behind too so we can feed the people, house the people, clothe the people. I know you mean well, sis. Thank you very much. May the Most High be praised. To the Rabbah.
And she says, so much strength and power, so many attributes of High Elohim in you two as individuals. Definitely a power couple, and all good things come from your union. May the Creator be praised.
May the Most High be praised. To the Rabbah.
Yes.
Thank you for the blessing, sis.
And then Sister Aisha also says, thankful for Shabbat and to be in association with Dula Land. So thankful to be led by an unseen Elohim and unseen power.
May the Most High be praised. Torah.
Prime Minister Moshe says, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Prime Minister.
Character education is what's needed.
That's right. Most High be praised.
Brother Paul Birdsong says, we have to set an example. We have to live up to the standards that are necessary for the freedom and progress for our people. And we have to do it in a way in which the younger brothers can see it.
Absolutely. May the Most High be praised. But they can't just see it. They have to be willing to accept it. Because that way that you just spoke about is not attractive. It ain't got bells and whistles and a whole lot of, glitter and shiny things. It's a dullness to it. So it's not going to attract everybody. Everybody don't want to make the sacrifice that's needed to help somebody else. So read on, please. Thank you.
Okay. Sister Koti Aisha says, unseen by the physical eye, the third eye is great, though.
That's right. May the Most High be praised.
Aim Kitar says, I'm thankful to the Most High for this day and grateful for opportunities to be present in moments that count, for the ability to utilize life lessons for myself and also for the benefit of others.
May the Most High be praised. And Aim is one of those people who teaches and leads by example. Aim Katir is the crown mother of our community, and she earned that right. She earned that right. She made the sacrifices to be there with the community. She made the sacrifices to make sure we're healthy. And she leads by example by being a physical example of a powerful woman. She teaches us so many. Let me back this up. She teaches the women so much about womanhood. And that's why she is the crown mother. She's earned that right. Nothing was given to her. She earned it. See, look. I'll be watching, and you don't even know I'm watching. And Aim, I watch you. You're a powerful individual, and we're grateful to have you. May the Most High be praised. Total Rabbah. I think she a prophet, though. I'm gonna tell y'all, because she called me one day and told me some dreams, and those dreams came true. And she told me a little while before those dreams even happened, and they came true twice. And I got them recorded, and they came true. So something's going on special with Aim. I'm just glad to be in her association in the way we are. She's a special individual. May the Most High be praised.
Okay. Sister Aisha said, their dream is my nightmare.
Well, it might be mistaken as a nightmare, sis. If the Most High is giving it to you, he's giving it to you for a reason. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a nightmare. If you ever get a chance, express it. And it might not be what you think it is. A lot of people think that when a demon comes, he's come to devour, but a demon and an angel are the same thing. It's all based on the side of the fence that demon comes to approach you on. Where are you standing when you see or are visited by that entity? Because if you're on the side of righteousness, it appeared to you as an angel. And if you're on the side of wickedness, it's going to come to you in the form of a demon. Same energy. Remember, for those who don't believe, remember this story? The children of Israel was in the wilderness, escaping Egypt, the Egyptians, and an angel of the Most High was in the cloud. Well, when the angel of the Most High was looking upon the children of Israel, he was an angel, beautiful, calmly. The day, the sun, shined on them. It was clear, and wasn't no hot sun coming down. The Most High was that angel was looking at them from the cloud. But when the angel turned around and looked at the Egyptians, he scared them because it was a demon. His whole countenance changed. to the oppressors or the opposers what seems to be evil to you because you got the power and authority of the Most High. It's not evil to you. It's there to serve you. And that's what we have to understand. Read on, please.
Okay, I think she was saying the American dream is my nightmare.
She could be true. I don't know. The American dream. Okay. May the Most High be praised. And she's absolutely right.
I just was saying, Cain, he, referring to the Creator, will send so many tests when you are striving to be righteous because he, the Most High, has to prove you for you because he already knows the outcome.
That's right. And he knows what he wants to do for you. The Creator knows what he wants to do for you, but he has to be certain that you are mature and developed enough to receive the blessings that he has to give to you. And most of us are not. We couldn't endure the test of the Most High. We can't endure it. It's too difficult for a lot of us. Read on, please.
Okay. Brother Paul says you are referring to what the Apostle Paul referred to as vain pursuit of a living.
All right. May the Most High be praised.
And then Aim Sukari says, honorable beings through and through, Baba Bilal and Ia Fulani. I'll never forget their dedication to liberate, education, and unite a nation. There's a responsibility to make things better.
May the Most High be praised. And that's their names. Read on, please.
And Brother Paul says, this reminds me of when the prophet spoke on behalf of the Most High, saying, you all run off to build your panel of houses while mine is left in ruins.
May the Most High be praised. And that's a powerful statement. You all run off to build your panels, but you have taken away from me and mine, and you left it destroyed. Is that true or not, Ima? Is that true or not? You tow up mine so you can run off and start building your own. Ain't that something? Yeah. Go ahead.
And then Brother Paul also says, self-centeredness is a disease that is epidemic. Every gift that we have, everything that we have is for the benefit of another. We are socially communicable.
May the Most High be praised. Absolutely. But more of us need to have that understanding. More of us need to see that we're here for others, not just for ourselves.
Mm-hmm. And then Sister Aisha says, Koti Aisha says, Bible talks about a rich man.
All right.
And then Ima Sukari says she was rich with integrity, which is a trait of the family. I think she referred to.
Praise.
And then Prime Minister Moshe says, when demons and angels tangle.
When they tangle, when they rumble. Usually, if you look at it, though, like in the scriptures, the angel Michael represented the children of Israel.
Mm-hmm.
But the angel that represented the Persians, that angel, I don't think he was ever described, but he was a demon. To the children of Israel, he was a demon. But to the Persians, he was an angel. Michael, to the children of Israel, was an angel. But to the Persians, Michael was a demon because Michael brought destruction to them.
Mm-hmm.
You see? So those two angels was at war in the book of Daniel. I believe it's the 10th chapter. I believe it is in the book of Daniel. You'll see when Michael speaks about having to be at war and he needed Gabriel to come and help him as they fought against the demons or angels of Persia. Read on, please. Any more?
My sister wife asks, why were Angel Michael and the Persians angel fighting?
Wow, that's a deep question. You know why they was fighting? Over the spiritual influence over the people of the Most High. So many, and let's look at this for a minute. Who do the Persians represent? That was a deep question, but I got the answer. Who do the Persians represent? The Persians represent pagan nations. Basically, the Islamic nations. Basically, because the Persians was Muslims, Islamic people. Now, I'm not talking about because I'm speaking when I'm speaking that I'm drawing my opinion. I'm giving you facts. The Persians was a pagan nation. They dealt with a lot of witchcraft, sorcery, and soothsaying, the Persians at that particular time. The Persians was some truly mystical people, but the majority of the Persians were Muslim. Now, don't even compare that to the modern day Muslim that you got today. Well, that Muslim or Islamic influence was and the angels that they talked about, sin, which is a demon or a pagan deity, all those angels that they had you worshiping, Baal was so powerful and influential that Israel even took that and began to call the creator by the name of Baal. Baal means Lord or master. Well, it actually means master. But Israel began to utilize that to reference the Most High. Their influence of these pagan nations came upon our people. And the angels was fighting for your soul so that that spiritual entity will not come upon you, so that you can have victory in the truth of the Most High. Here's an example. If you know anybody that practices Islam, and I'm not talking about nobody that just say salam alaikum, they eat pork chops and bacon. I ain't talking about them people. I'm talking about a real devout Muslim of your own people, a black man that's practicing Islam. If you see them, I'm talking about the real ones. You see them, they will carry a certain aura about them that you know that they into something else. They're not normal. If you meet an Israelite, sometimes you can't tell the difference between the two if they're really about that life, because the true servants of the Most High will have a beard. They'll have hair on their head. Sometimes, mostly times, braids or dreads or locks or afro, but they got hair on their head. They got a full beard, the best that they can. It was a shameful thing for us to shave our heads and to shave our faces until we got over here with the Western man. The Western man introduced to us the ideal of shaving our heads and shaving our faces. The Europeans introduced that to us, but anybody cultural, we strayed away from that. So therefore, if you meet a Muslim in his true aspects of the way, or the, how they say it, the deen of Islam, somebody that's really about that life, that hasn't been really westernized as the Western man is, they will look just like us. Even Muhammad, their prophet, looked like a Hebrew Israelite. You know why? Because he was taught by the Hebrew Israelites. He was grafted in. He came to us when he was running from his own people, and we taught him about the creator of all creation. He took it back to his people. He did what he did, added some things, took some things away, and gave them what they call the Quran. But if you look at the Quran, you see the Quran is slightly different. Certain things that they were able to do that we can't do, like eating camel. Certain foods in the sea, is in Islam, in the Quran, it says everything in the sea is good for you to eat, but we can't eat certain things in the sea. So he forgot those portions because he didn't add it when he gave the Quran. But the whole point of the fact is that there's a certain spiritual energy that goes behind a Muslim and a certain spiritual energy that goes behind the children of the Most High. And the same thing is with any pagan. They have a spiritual entity that governs them. And sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes when you look on their person, you look at the individual, you can see the spiritual energy that pushes and motivates them. That's a fact. People who practice Yoruba and all those different religions, look at them. They carry an aura. That's the spiritual realm. And Michael was fighting and Gabriel was fighting those entities to preserve you, Israel, so you wouldn't practice idolatry. And look at us now. We're giving in to the spirit of idolatry heavy. So that's what that war was all about. All right, Ima.
All right. Chief Malak says self-centeredness equals birthdays. He also says Baal Peor equals Lord of the Opening. Prime Minister Moshe says Baal Adonai Elohim Asmodeus. He's just giving names.
All right.
That's just like Autumn says, since all angels serve the Creator and therefore serve us in our right mind, it's tough to think that angels can be at war with each other because I thought they were all on the same page.
Absolutely. They're on the same page when it comes to obeying the Creator, but they have free will just like you do. They get to make a decision and a choice just like you do. Don't let nobody tell you that angels don't have free will. Because you can look in the book of Kings where the Most High says, who will do this? And one angel said this, one angel said that. That shows you that angels have the freedom of thought, of power, of ability to do what they choose to do.
Mhm.
Okay? And some of them chooses to do negative things to people who demand negative energy. So don't even think that it's a bad thing. They're doing what they're supposed to do.
Chief Malak says, the Creator gave us the attributes he goes by, but all Asmodeus is far from it. Creator never told us to call him by those names, but all Asmodeus.
The Creator never told us to call him. Matter of fact, the Most High tell us not to call him by those names anymore. But we chose to call the Most High by those names because we were influenced by outside nations. That's the whole point that we're bringing out. Other nations, remember in the book of Numbers, around Numbers 21, where we laid down with these people, these women of the land, they infiltrated our minds and they caused us to worship other deities and all that type of stuff. That's what this is all about. That's that spiritual war.
Mm-hmm. Brother Paul says, via the prophet Hosea, the Most High expressed that he would take the name Baal out of the mouths of his people. That clearly indicates that he doesn't want us using that name.
That's absolutely correct. He took it out. He said, don't call me by this no more. Don't call me by this name anymore. All right. Total Rabah.
And Sister Akoti Aisha says, I am thankful for the blessing to be in the midst of like-minded beings. Like-mindedness is often hard to find, but once it is found, the strength and power that comes from it is unbreakable.
And it is, sis. And that's what unity in community is all about. Imagine if we took all these people that was on the same accord in righteousness, not foolishness, but in righteousness. We took all those people and located them in one area of the earth. Imagine that. That's why we got all this land down here and we're building a community right there for like-minded people that want to walk in the trueness of the Most High. You know, to make the sacrifices to show their worth to the Most High, so we through our actions will command the Most High to bring his blessings upon us. May the Most High be praised, because that's what it's supposed to be all about. Is that it?
Okay.
All right. May the Most High be praised. Are there any other questions or comments, family? Anybody want to speak on anything before we move on? Before we take this any further? Shabbat Shalom, Abba. You can speak up. Abba, he's there. He's there in spirit, if he ain't physically here with us.
Prime Minister Moshe says, Yehovah, nothing before, nothing after, nothing to the left or right of it. Yehovah stands alone.
The Most High alone, and there is no other. The Most High be praised. Yohe Wahe. The Most High alone. May he forever be praised by his people and his creation throughout all eternity. All right, family, it's my turn, I guess, to talk about what I'm thankful for. Here it is, 12 o'clock, and I'm just getting to my part. That's because I talked so long earlier. So I am grateful. And where's Brother Asa? I haven't heard from Brother Asa today either. Praying that he's okay. Everything is good with him. All right. So if anyone wishes to come onto the platform to speak, there's the link. It should still work. Matter of fact, let me get a new copy of it just in case that one is not working. Here's the link, and it should still work if you choose to come on the platform today. And you can come on the platform and leave your camera off and just be heard. You can leave your camera off if you choose and just be heard. So may the Most High be with you. But I am thankful to the Most High today for life, for health, for strength, portions of his wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and the things that the Creator has done for me in my life, and allowing me to be able to present to you, his children, his word, entrusting me with that position. It's not a simple task. It's a very difficult thing, especially when you have so many opposing spirits in the earth coming at you in so many different directions. So I'm grateful. And I didn't say I was perfect. I'm not perfect. I'm striving for perfection, but I'm not perfect. And if I never reach it, I will always be striving for it. So please forgive me if I have offended you. Please forgive me if I have disappointed you and let you down and didn't achieve what you felt I should have achieved for you in your life, no matter how much time we've had together. So please forgive me. I haven't reached that level of perfection yet, which I probably never will, but I will always be striving for that level. Okay. I'm grateful to the Most High that He has allowed me to travel across the airways from Georgia to Philadelphia, from Philadelphia to Georgia, and back again and back again and back again. I thought about that the other day. I do a lot of flying, and the Most High has been good to me. He's preserved my life. He's blessed the hands of the pilots, and we made it to these places safely, and I'm grateful. May the Most High forever be praised for these things. A lot of changes have taken place in Beulah. A lot of changes have taken place. But with the changes that have taken place, I think it's to create a force in my hand to do some things that I thought I could take my time and do. I think the Father's forcing me and putting in me in position to make some things happen. That's how I take it. You know, everybody's being true to who they are, and I'm grateful for that. But I think that the Creator is forcing me to do things that I was already going to do and already was doing, but I was taking my time because, you know, we think we got to strategically plan things. Sometimes the Most High says, no, just jump out there just jump out there and get it done. And I think that's what I'm being forced to do. I haven't had that conversation with anyone, so nobody knows what it is that I'm talking about. But that's what I feel the Most High, in my understanding, that's what the Creator is presenting to me right now. So I have some work to do to get things right and to make preparations to do what I must do to please this King, because you know He comes first in all things, right? So I'm thankful for the Most High for the opportunity to meet with you all, to speak with you all, and to talk with you all, you know, and to be helpful in the lives of the family that are present. I thank the Most High for the sisters that gave, it was sisters that I spoke to today through way of text messages on here that spoke those great compliments about me and my family and our leadership capabilities and skills and how they felt we were doing in our mission thus far. I thank the Creator for it. But I want y'all to know something, man. And I have to be honest with y'all in every situation of life. So please don't think that this is me being dishonest, because I don't know how to do that when we talk to the Most High's people. I'm getting tired. I've been doing this over 30-something years, and I'm getting tired of the disappointment of the people. You know, it's hard work. It's a lot of work and effort that goes into this. And not enough people are showing themselves that this is what they want. So I'm really focusing on the direction of the Creator and where He leads us and guides us, because it's almost as if, you know how a wife goes out and put herself out in the street looking for a husband, so she impresses him by doing certain things that she only knows to do because it's in her to do, good things to show that she's a great wife. And then she gets a bum, and she get another bum, and then she get another bum, and then she's left and she has to consider all of her actions and what she's done. And she starts to look into herself and say, you know what? I'm going to stop searching. And she gets to herself and she begins to invest in herself and her immediate children, her immediate household, and just those who come by way unto her for her to guide and to protect or help or be a part of or associate with. She begins to look to herself to provide for her family that is there with her. That's how I'm kind of feeling, and I'm a man. But that's how I kind of feel right now with all the exposure and all the things that have taken place as I accumulate the whole time of Israel. I've been in this walk for a long time. I've made a whole lot of sacrifices and a whole lot, but it's hard to find people. It's hard to find people that are truly searching after the Most High. A lot of people are looking for their own glory, their own fame, and their own wealth. But yet, the proper procedures and how to obtain it, they're not focusing on. I seen a video, and I'm still thanking the Most High, so please don't think I'm not. I seen a video where a man was talking to a woman, and he says to the woman, he says, would you go to a painter, someone who paints, if you wanted to learn how to cook? The woman says no. She wouldn't go to a painter if she wanted to learn how to cook. He said, well, would you go to a musician if you wanted to learn how to fix a car? The woman says, no, I wouldn't. So the whole thing is that so many people are taking advice from people who are not qualified and skilled to give them advice. For example, if I wanted to learn how to be wealthy, I don't want to talk to the guy standing next to me in the same position I'm in if I'm not wealthy. I want to talk to the man who's wealthy. And I want to be a part of his life so he could be a part of my life and teach me how I too can become wealthy. In that process of gaining wealth, family, there's a lot of sacrifice that needs to be done. A lot of people don't understand that. So if I want to be wealthy, if I want to be righteous, if I want to be a servant of the Most High, then I have to attach myself to someone that I see that is doing those things and that are those things to learn how I too can become like that individual. That's where humility kicks in. So I'm thankful to the Most High for placing me in a position to be able to do things to help others to achieve their goals and their desires in righteousness by way of wealth, by way of righteousness, by way of spirituality, by way of dedication and sincerity. I'm thankful to the Creator for putting me in that position that I can, when I speak, I'm not speaking what I think. I'm not showing you what I think. These are things that have had me over these last 30 years to be in the position that I'm in today through the Most High's blessings. And I'm not patting myself on the back. I'm not saying I'm this. I'm saying that I paid attention to the lessons that was given to me. And now, because I paid attention, I'm able to be in position to help somebody else to achieve their desires in the things that I too, while still learning, but yet further advanced than where they are. So this is what it's all about. You have to attach yourself to individuals, to people who are able, who have proven themselves to do a particular thing. So I'm grateful. May the Most High be praised. And whomever it is that the Most High puts me in relations with to help build them, I pray that I'm able to give them, and I pray that they're able to receive what I have to give, because it's a lot. So I'm in a place right now where I have decided within myself to not try to force anything in anyone. And if they don't ask, they don't get. If they don't show any intentions on being, then they cannot associate. So no longer will I be forcing or trying to implement things in people's lives because I see the need in their lives. Because a lot of times that person who and I'm gonna put it in layman's plain terms so that we all understand, that person that's sick is usually 9 times out of 10, and that's a whole lot. That's like 99%. That person is sick because they didn't listen to the messages that you gave them. You told them how to prevent sickness, but they didn't listen. So now that they're sick, they want to say, hey, can you help me? Can you help me to get better? But why should I help you when I gave you the remedy many, many years ago and you would not listen? So why should I help you today? You understand what I'm saying? A lot of people, and I'm using sickness, but I'm talking about everything dealing with our people. A lot of us are poor. Well, those lessons about poverty and wealth were taught to you many, many years ago and still being taught to you every day, but you're not listening. You know why? Because it's not instantaneous. It didn't come to you right away. You didn't get what you wanted when you tried and applied what was given to you. It wasn't instantaneous gratification. Therefore, you left it alone. But you're talking to someone who's achieved and accomplished the things that you desire, still desiring to achieve and accomplish. Those things that you're desiring to achieve and accomplish right now is just a part of who I am. But they're back there now, and I'm moving on to greater things. I have my desires and my achievements and the things that I'm looking forward to accomplishing is on a whole totally different level. They're not on the same place where they were 15 and 20 years ago. It's in a totally different place right now because I'm an everlasting, evolving creature. The Most High sets tasks and assignments as you show him you're ready for these things. So I truly desire to please the Creator in all of my essence and all of my beings, to always be moving fast forward in a different direction that he sees fit for me to have, so that I can serve his people the best way I can. And that's what I do. Ima Havared, Shabbat Shalom, Ima. Shabbat Shalom. So let's travel, family. You know what, Ima, I want to give you a chance to read the comments first before we move on. Can you do that for me, please? And then I'll prepare for the lesson today. Total Rabbah.
Chief Malak says, walk in his ways if you believe fully, wholeheartedly. He said, stop playing with the Creator laws to benefit your wicked self. I'm sorry. Brother Asa says, shalom, shalom, righteous ones. I'm grateful for life, family, and Torah. And Prime Minister Moshe says he's thankful for the laws. He said he's thankful for life. Ema Sukari says, grateful to be in the midst of prayer-filled Hebrew Israelites. Truly, the storm is passing over. And Brother Paul says, may Yah renew your strength. May you have the strength of a young lion, wings like eagles. May you just get stronger as you age like the prophet Elijah.
May the Most High be praised, y'all.
Prime Minister Moshe says, united we stand.
Absolutely.
And Kotiasha says, they may have listened, however, they did not believe or practice.
So then they didn't listen. If they didn't believe and practice, then they didn't listen. Because that's what the lesson was about. Go ahead, I got you.
Prime Minister Moshe says, the United Kingdom of Yisrael, a period when the tribes of Yisrael were united under one rule, is believed to have existed roughly from the anointing of Saul or King Shaul as king around 1020 BCE until the split.
Is that it?
Okay, so
all right. May the Most High be praised. May the Most High be praised. All right, family, we're going to be reading today. Brother Asa, you coming on to read today? Brother Asa, will you be coming on to read today? And Sister Ornette, I don't know if you're in the audience, so I haven't heard from you in a couple of weeks, so I don't know what's going on with you. My wife said she's going to give you a call, though. So we'll find out what's going on with you in a moment. But if you're in the audience, you can also come on if you choose. Brother Asa, you coming on to read today? All right. Let's get this party started, y'all. Let's get it started. How's the wording? Is that large enough? That should be large enough for y'all to see, right?
Okay.
Okay. All right. May the Most High be praised. Total Rabbah. Oh, what was that Chief saying? Yeah. Oh, he could read it. I thought Chief was trying to say he was coming to read. I'd rather say, wow. Okay, Chief. I mean, Mr. Otter. I agree. Say, okay, Mr. Otter. Okay, so let's go. Giving all honor and praise unto the Most High King of all creation, asking that He will guide my mind, my spirit, my body, my language, and my speech as I approach unto you, His people. May the Most High be praised from everlasting to everlasting. He is King. Do y'all believe that? The Most High is King? All right. Well, we're going to see. We're going to see. So the name of today's lesson, I'm just getting things situated that I couldn't get situated earlier, so please forgive me. The name of today's lesson is Can Hebrews Marry White People? And as I explained, I'm not just talking about the Europeans that we have in our midst. I'm talking about, can we marry foreigners, outside nations? This lesson is going to drop a lot of jewels that I'm sure a lot of you don't know. And I'm sure a lot of you, if you've been walking with me for some period of time, you may know some of these things, but then we're going to introduce some new things. And also, if you're studious in scripture, you will know these things are present more than likely if you study scripture, because these things are profound. I mean, these things are known. Like, for example, let me give you an example of what I'm about to say. How many of you actually know that an Israelite man or woman is not supposed to marry anybody, watch this, that is outside of their own tribe? So if you're an Israelite and you profess to be of the tribe of Judah, then your husband should be of the tribe of Judah. An Israelite man can marry whomever he chooses, anybody, anywhere, right? Of any nationality of a woman, except the ones that the Most High forbid for him to marry. But an Israelite woman ain't supposed to marry nobody except an Israelite man. Why? One of the reasons is because of inheritance. One of the reasons why is because of inheritance. That Israelite woman is supposed to marry within the tribe of her own father, so that inheritance. How many of you knew this? How many of you know this information? That you walking around here saying you're from the tribe of Benjamin, you're supposed to marry a brother from the tribe of Benjamin. How many of you actually knew this information? Because not a lot of people understand that. But we're going to bring all this out. We're going to drop these jewels. Now, there are certain people that walk the earth that the Most High said the children of Israel should not marry. Do not give your sons and your daughters to these individuals. These people are real. The Most High says, don't allow your children to marry these individuals. But a lot of us don't care what the Most High said. We get to feel a certain emotional way, and that's what we do. That's what we see. That's what we feel. And that's all that we want, is what our hearts Our own desires tell us we want. And that's what we go after, our own desires. But that's not the way of the Most High. That's not the way he sees fit for it to be. And we, being the children of the Most High, we have to acknowledge that. We have to remember that. So let's move on, family. Can you all see that? Is that large enough for you all? I hope that it is. First time I ever use this screen, but I'm going to use it. Can you all see the lesson? Is that right? Everybody see the lessons? See, sister says most people don't know the tribe that they're from. Okay, that's cool if you don't know the tribe you're from. But what tribe do you feel in your essence belongs to you? Whatever tribe you claim that you're from, live by it. What tribe does your father say he's from? You know, you have to accept that to a degree. That's where you got to be. But you just got to marry somebody within that tribe. And if you don't know what tribe you're from, go ask the Most High what tribe you're from. And if you don't get an answer, then I guess you would have to go with the attributes of that you see through scriptures that relates to the attributes, but you have to be true to yourself. The attributes that you see through scriptures are the attributes that you should try to go with and accept to be your attributes of the tribe that you're from. So let's travel. And I'm speaking mostly primarily to those who do know who associate. Nobody knows 100% of anything. But there are some of us who can trace our lineage from ancestor to ancestor. Everybody wants to be from Judah. That's because a lot of people are not true with themselves on their personality and their character and their traits. That's why it is that way. But go ask the Most High and let's see what the Most High shares with us or tells us about the tribe that we're from. The Most High to reveal that to you. He can. And a lot of people do want to be from Levi, or Judah. That just shows how much people want to be in control of things and want to be the head honcho. But Joseph was a head honcho too. Joseph had a kingly tribe within him too that a lot of people don't know about. But very few people claim Joseph. Okay. And then a lot of people that she said, a lot of people don't know, but Benjamin was a tribe that a lot of people shouldn't want to associate with, but they do. They associate with Benjamin. However it is, it is. You know, that's another conversation for another day, and maybe Creator willing, one day soon we'll be able to have that conversation. Right now, we're prepared on those who claim a certain tribe and those who claim that this is where they're from. If you are to be married, do you claim the tribe of Israel? How about that one? Do you claim the tribe of Israel? Because if you claim the tribe of Israel, let's hold on to that title for a minute. And let's just put that in our back pockets and see what the Most High reveals to us about that. Let's see what the Most High does. Let's see what he says. Okay. All right. Since I don't have a reader today, I'm going to read. And it's going to be a lot of reading for my soul. But I'm going to do what I got to do because I have to do it for the people, not just for myself. So as I was preparing today's lesson, I came across some good information. Very good information. And I wanted to share some of that information with the family. You remember that man we was reading about last week? His name was Sanballat. Y'all remember Sanballat? The nemesis or the evil one against Nehemiah and the children of Israel. Sanballat. Another definition for his name is bramble-bush, a bramble bush. And it goes on to say enemy in secret. Sanballat means enemy in secret in a different language, not the Akkadian language, because in the Akkadian language, it's the name of the Sumerian god Sin, which meaning sin gave life. So not in the Akkadian language, but in a different language. I'm not sure what language that is. Sinbulat is his name, Sinbulat. And what it means is enemy in secret. And last week in class, I explained to you that a lot of us got a lot of Sanballats all around us. Enemies in secret. They are the worst type of people to have in your life. People who are secretly envious of you, secretly hating you, despising you, jealous of you, but you don't know it. You're thinking all along that this individual is your homie, your friend, your pal, your buddy, somebody you can trust in. I mean, you even gave a guy the keys to your house, thinking that you can trust in him. But when he's not in your circle, he's around devising plans and mischief to bring you down, to speak ill against your name. He's an enemy in secret. She's an enemy in secret. You bring her to your house, you invite her into your home while you feed your family, and y'all sitting down having meals and eating food and laughing and joking together. And all along, she's thinking about how she can cut you out of the relationship and have your husband and and your children all in her, with her in her life. She want to tear you apart. She don't want to be your sister wife. She want to remove you from the equation and take what's yours. You got this nice house, this nice car, you just rolling. Well, she wants that for herself. And that's wickedness. That's covetousness. That's what the Creator said we shouldn't do. But there are so many people that are envious in secret about you and your life. They're Sanballats. Or should I say Sanbotim? That's what they would be. It's a whole bunch of them. There's a whole lot of negativity, evil, and wickedness. These people exist in our day and time. But because your spirit is so kind-hearted, so giving, so free, and so loving, you don't pay attention to the Sanballats until the first opportunity that they get to destroy you, they're on the side of your enemies. And you're like, huh? How could that be? One thing I have to caution you on, and this is something that I knew, but I never really enforced it in life until now. When you got people in your circle that's supposed to be close to you, and they're also real close to your enemies, then they're not for you. You have to separate yourself from them. Because if you're in my circle and you're with me, and my circle is small, but if you're in my circle and you're with me, then my enemies should be your enemies. And a lot of people don't understand that. My enemies should be your enemies. That's what brotherhood is all about. Because anybody that's in the brotherhood, in that clique, anybody that's in the brotherhood, that means that anybody that's a friend or associate of that person in the brotherhood is a friend or associate of the other person in the brotherhood. So if I'm in the brotherhood and my brother right here is in the brotherhood, anybody that he vouches for, I have to accept and embrace as being a valid brother. And I will have to look out for that brother on a level, not as the brotherhood level, but on a level that a brother has vouched for that individual. And if anything ever goes wrong, then I always go back to that brother to have conversations about what has happened and transpired between me and the one that he vouched for. Today, Israel will introduce you to somebody and then step off and say, well, I don't know, he's my man and all that, and we cool, but I wouldn't imagine he would have done that, but he did. Oh man, that's a shame. What you gonna do about it? How you gonna handle that? That's not how you do when you introduce people. You're responsible for what transpires between those two individuals. Sanballat speaks about enemies in secret. And enemies in secret is a horrible thing. Nehemiah, the name of Nehemiah meant consolation, and it meant repentance of the Most High. So the Most High had saw what he had done to all the people, and it hurt his heart. He felt bad. He sent Nehemiah in because his people was in the land, even in the land of Jerusalem, but yet they were still slaves and they had no organization. They had no structure. People were just all over the place, pretty much like what we're living today, except our people had a lot more loyalty and appreciation toward the ones who was trying to help them to be their best. Nehemiah was a governor of the people. He was repentance being brought with the Most High because unto the people, because the Most High was repenting for what he had done. I don't mean that he was apologizing and making it right. No, he had mercy. That's a repentance of the Creator. He had mercy upon the people, and he sent a redeemer to the people to redeem the people, to bring them back to their rightful state. Okay, so that was Nehemiah. Right now, we're dealing with the book of. Before I go to Nehemiah, I have to deal with the book of Deuteronomy. And we're going to go to Deuteronomy, the 7th chapter. Let me pull it up, please. Deuteronomy 7. And Deuteronomy, the 7th chapter, going to elaborate a little bit about what the Most High has in store for us as his people. Okay? Don't go nowhere. Don't leave. Just let me pull this up on my screen so that you can walk along with me. All right. Deuteronomy, the 7th chapter. All right, here we go. Because a lot of people don't know these things, but this is where you're prohibited from the Creator from marrying into certain people. Why did the Most High not want you to marry certain people? So that you would not contaminate the bloodline. The bloodline is rich to the Most High. It means everything to the Most High. And the more pure your bloodline was, the more pure the people and the more spiritual energy the people had in their lives. Here we go. Let me give you an example of what I mean first. If you look at any of the greatest men in Israel, the men who grew to be powerful leaders in Israel, 99.9% of those men had both mother and father of the same tribe. 99.9% of those men had mothers and fathers who were of the same tribe. Then you get some good, strong, powerful men, kings, not as powerful as the first order, but the father was a powerful man of the tribe of Israel, but the mother was not from those forbidden tribes. It might have been the great down the line somewhere, but the mother and father was usually of the tribes of Israel. You have very few men who really rose to real high honor. You probably never looked at the scriptures this way before, but examine the person that you call your favorite. If you know their parents, look at their blood lineage. Then you have a very few men who their fathers were Israelite men and their mothers was just outside nations outside of Israel. It happened to us. It happened quite a bit, but it was always a less watered down version of what these individuals achieved in greatness. Usually the greatness usually came when we had both Hebrew mother, Israelite mother, and an Israelite father in the same tribe. We were at our greatest. And then the second greatest will be an Israelite father and an Israelite mother of two different Israelite tribes. And we did very well. Okay, so I want you to keep those things in mind while we're reading today. Let me read the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 1. When the Most High thy Elohim shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it, and has cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites, the Girgasites, the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Perizzites, and the Hivites, the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou. And when the Most High thy Elohim shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor show mercy unto them. Now, a lot of people who hate the Bible will draw emphasis on that situation and say, why is an all-loving power telling his children to go into a nation and kill people? Kill the women, kill the children. That's what utterly destruction means. Utterly destruction means kill the children, kill the women, kill the men, destroy them all. They will say to you, why would an all-loving power go into a nation and kill innocent people, what will be the reason? This is when they try to persuade you not to worship the Most High and not to walk in his ways, to try to come out of this way of life. They will introduce you to things like that. And if your mind has been westernized, you will think that they're right. You will say, you know what? You're right. That don't even make sense. What happens is the New Testament introduces a different form of the Creator. They introduce a whole totally different form of the Most High. This is why the Most High never speaks in the New Testament. Not one place does he speak. The New Testament creates the scenario. Well, let me say, teachers of the New Testament create a scenario that the Creator is all merciful, all loving. You can basically do what you want. Just turn to him and ask for forgiveness and believe in that deity that they worship, and all is forgiven of you. And that's not what the Most High has. That's not what he says. The Most High is about family first. The Most High has put you, the children of Israel, as always, above all the people that walk in the earth. The Most High he says that he will lay people down for you if you're in your right state of mind. He will put people to sleep on your behalf because of how he loves you. And you have to understand this. To the outside nations, they would see this and it won't make sense because that Christian dogma has been given to them and they believe the Christian hype. The Creator would not kill poor little innocent children. He does. The Most High wouldn't harm parents and neighbors who ain't got nothing to do with that conflict. He will. You know why? Because as we spoke about earlier, the governing spirit of that nation resides within the inhabitants of the people. The governing spirit of the Persian Empire lived in the people of Persia. That's what you got to understand. Same thing takes place today. Same thing takes place today. So the governing spirit of the Girgashites, the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, the Jebusites, the governing spirit governs those people. So let's look at the Europeans today. What spirit governs the European people today? It's the same spirit that governed the majority of their ancestors many years ago. They're the same people that enslaved your people, that raped your children, that sodomized your little young brothers and sisters, sodomized them. You know, a lot of people talk about slavery, but a lot of people don't talk about the facts of what took place during the time of slavery. So Prince want to just tell you just a few of those things. The European oppressor overdone what he was supposed to do to us. Sure, the Most High put us in this land of captivity as slaves, as servants, because we wouldn't obey him. But the people who he has put us under to put us in oppression and to oppress us with, they overdone what they were supposed to do, thereby made them evil because they went too far in their execution of bringing righteous judgment upon us for disobeying the Creator. Some of the things that they done was they would take our little boys, our teenage men, teenage males, and rape them and sodomize them by other men. They would tie them down so that they couldn't move, and they would rape them sexually and have them raping each other sexually. That's just one of the things that they would do. And I want to name some of the things that I think you may have not heard of, because a lot of the things I know you heard of, some of the things might have slipped your acquaintance in your life. Another thing that they used to do is those ones that they would kill of us that died, they would take us and skin us, take the skin off of our bodies and make clothes with the skin, belts, shoes. They call them nigger shoes, soul shoes. They would make belts, handbags with human flesh, our flesh, that they will cut. This what had nothing to do with what the Most High had ordained, that they would correct us. This was beyond death. Even after you died, they took your body and scraped the skin off or cut the skin off. They had professional people to do it. They will scrape your skin off your body and make sandals, shoes with your human flesh. Some of your ancestors received this treatment from the oppressor, the European. That's how hard it was. You think you're having a hard life right now. Your forefathers, it was 100 times worse. 100 times worse. And a lot of these things we don't even hear about. Can you imagine your young child right now, because baby skin is a lot softer than adult skin? Can you imagine your child right now, somebody kick your door in, 6 white men, at gunpoint, hold your husband hostage at gunpoint and take your baby and take that baby off to kill that baby so that they can take his skin and make shoes and clothes and belts and gloves and handbags with your fresh. They get a lot of money for it because it's real soft and it's all leather. Just that leather is human skin and not animal skin. Can you imagine that? Because these are some of the things that they want you to forget. They might even block this from being presented today after we finish, because I'm speaking this truth here that they might not want you to know. What's that man's name? I can't remember his name. Who led the revolt against the European people during the time of slavery. He led the revolt against the Europeans, and the way that they found out about it is because his own people snitched on him, and it prevented him from killing a whole lot more of them. Now, remember, I don't hate nobody. I ain't got no hate in my heart. What I'm giving you is facts, historical facts that they don't want you to know about. I can't think of his name right now. But when this man died, I want to say Denmark Vesey, but it wasn't Denmark Vesey. When this man died, they cut his body up, took his head off, ripped his body up, cut his skin, used his skin, and all types of evil and wicked, devilish things that only a devil could think of, they did with his flesh. Even after life, they destroyed his flesh. That's how wicked these people were. And Nat Turner, absolutely right. Nat Turner. Thank you, Yirmiyahu, my man. Thank you. Nat Turner. And these people are profoundly wicked. They took the curse that the Most High had placed upon a certain people. They knew those people were in Africa. So the Pope gave them a treaty to allow them to go to Africa and bring out a certain slave. You don't believe me? The European had their hands in all that. It's called the Treaty of Papal Bull. Treaty of Papal Bull allowed slave traders to go into Africa and conduct the business of slave trading to bring those people to the newfound land so that they can work the fields. The Europeans gave them permission to do that. And then when we get here, slavery is so harsh and so cruel upon our people. The same spirit that governs the Europeans at that particular time is the same spirit that governs the Europeans today. That European man with the red hair and the orange skin that's sitting in the office today, why do you think he's taken away so much that we have been accomplished over these years? He's been taking them away. The rights, the accomplishments of Black people, what we've achieved in legislatively is what I'm speaking about. In the legislation, laws that have been passed, he's removing those things. Well, Prince, what does a European today has to, and I want to make this clear before I go any further. This is not every European that thinks like this. This is not every European that agrees with this behavior. There are some good people in every nationality of people upon the face of the earth. Okay? But the vast majority is what I'm talking about. They're removing legislation today that will take us right back into the time of slavery. And you don't even see it. And a lot of you are the ones who put that man in position. This European man hates you. You know why he hates you? Because he's governed by the same spirit of his ancestors. It hasn't changed. It hasn't changed. There was a lot of Europeans back in those days who was trying to protect the black man. That wasn't governed by that wicked spirit. They're probably the ones today that's married to black women or trying to help black people. That's probably, they probably got their spirit from their forefathers who was back in a time of slavery trying to help us to survive. Anybody ever read about Rosewood? There was Europeans at that time trying to help us. Their ancestors are probably, their descendants are probably some of the ones today that loves black people, that want to help black people, want to marry some black people. That's probably who their descendants are today. Don't be surprised if the Creator ever reveals that information to you. But there was a reason why the Most High told us that the Girgashites, the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, Jebusites, that the Most High didn't want us marrying these people. And we're going to read a little bit more about that, and we're going to find out why. I can already tell that this class is going to be a lot longer than the 4 or 5 hours that I was going to teach. This class is probably going to be broken in half and re-brought back another part 2 to cover the rest, because this is a deep class. It's a deep class. And a lot of the reason why we are not unified today is because of the actions of these European people who taught us to hate each other. When they taught us to hate each other, they was actually teaching us to hate ourselves. How did they teach us? They turned the young against the old, the rich against the poor, the not rich, because none of us was rich at that time, but the house nigger against the field, they called us niggers. The house nigger against the field nigger. The tall against the short. The light or fair-skinned, because they were mulattoes, a lot of them, because of interbreeding. But you got to know that fair skin runs in our blood anyway without European intervention, because we are people of color. And when you say people of color, that means all spectrums of color come from the black man. Come from the black man. All right? All these things was done to us as a people many, many years ago. And by them turning us against each other, tall against short, little heavy ones against, I don't know if we had too many fat people around because we was working too hard. There was almost no time for us to get fat. And the food we ate was slop and pig and pork. So it wasn't really a whole lot of food that we was eating a whole lot, because we didn't have it in abundance like we do a time today when we get to sit on our butts and all that food goes out to our hips and our sides. It wasn't like that back then. I don't even know if I ever seen a fat slave, because they worked us so hard. But all that they did to turn us against each other is still in our minds today. And this is why it's so difficult to get 2 black people to work together for any significant time on one project. It's almost impossible for it to happen. 2 black people to work together for a significant time on any one project, it's almost impossible to take place. Almost. Because of what the Europeans did to us and turned us against each other, caused us to hate each other, caused us to be envious of each other. They set us back thousands of years. And it still is prevalent in our behavior today. We're so selfish. We don't want to help anybody. They call it crabs in the barrel syndrome. And that's exactly who we are. and what we are today, but we have the power to reverse it. You know, I can never understand how a person says, well, heart attacks run in my family. My grandfather, my great grandfather, and my grandfather before him had heart attacks. And so what are you doing to prevent it from happening to you? You're still eating like they ate. You're still living like they live. You're still doing what they did. So how do you expect that not to happen to you? And then when it happens to them, they be like, oh, well, that was expected because this one is hereditary. It's not hereditary. It's your actions. It's your behavior that caused that heart attack to come upon you that was prone to happen because you did what your forefathers did to cause a heart attack to come upon you. Same thing I'm saying about the ability to show loyalty, the ability to come together and work together, the ability to love each other. If our parents didn't teach it to us and we didn't strive to learn it, then we're going to have the same outcome that our parents had living their lives the way they lived. We're going to have the same outcomes today. And we can't expect anything different. There's going to have to come a time in your life when you say enough is enough, because I've seen it happen throughout history, and you're going to have to start showing some love to your brothers and sisters that look like you. Not enough of us think like that. Not many of us think like that. All of us don't have to think like that. But if we can just get a cluster of people who have that type of mind frame, right now we can start off with about 50, and then we can elevate that to 1,000, and then we can elevate that to 10,000, and then 10 and 20 generations from now, most of our people will have that reinstilled within them, because they would have come from descendants who had that unity, that bond, that trust, that commitment, that loyalty within them to pass down to the future generations to come. The oppressors knew what they were doing when they turned us against each other. Because as long as we're not united, as long as we're not together, then they get to prosper and be great in the earth. We can reverse that, family. Starting today with every one of us, we can reverse that curse. Let's see why the Most High told us not to intermingle our seed with the seed of the other nations. Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 2. And when the Most High thy Elohim should deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them, kill them, and utterly destroy them. When the Europeans got off the ships and our forefathers was here, because we was here before the slave trade. A lot of our ancestors was here before the slave trade. They call us Indians. Believe me, it was us. If the indigenous people, our forefathers, was here and saw them get off the ships, if we would have killed them, if we would have kept this law and we would have obeyed what the Most High said, more than likely we wouldn't be in the position we're in today. But because we want to befriend the enemy, we want to work with the enemy. We'll know this is our enemy, but we want to stay in association because we get a little bit of benefit from that person that we know is not serving the Most High. And that's what our forefathers did. Well, the Most High is saying, I don't want you to do that, Israel. I don't want you to be in association with these individuals, the Canaanites, the Perizzites, the Hittites, basically enemies of the Most High. The Most High is saying, when you come in, take and conquer them, destroy all of them. And thou shalt make no covenants with them. The only covenant I would say you can make with them is that they stay in their land and you stay in yours. We promised not to come over there and mess with y'all, but we couldn't do that. We had to bring them over. We had to violate the laws of the Most High. We had to enter into covenants with them and to see where we can benefit, because they came bearing gifts. And when they came bearing gifts, it was something that we wasn't accustomed to. We got a new house for y'all. We got a new car for y'all. We got some salt. We got some gunpowder. And our people say, wow, we ain't got to live in the huts no more. We ain't got to live in the pyramids no more. We ain't got to live in a house like this no more. We can live in y'all style, thinking that their style of housing, enclosure, and accommodations was better than what we already had. And we didn't understand. We was losing so much by doing things the way that the Europeans had introduced to us, as opposed to the way that we was already living. We were connected to the earth. Everything that we built was about life and production and fruitfulness, and we considered the spirits of everything that we built, from what products we got it from. We would take a cave and cut out a cave in the hills and live in that cave up in the mountains somewhere. We will build, and the houses that we will build with was all raw natural materials that you can get right from the ground. Heat it up and you got it. And those things sustain life, as opposed to these things like asphalt that's destroying life, concrete that has no benefit for life. Asphalt releases poison toxins that eventually, as you consume and suck them things in, it kills you because it doesn't work well with your bodies. The Europeans did all this stuff and paved the streets with asphalt and took your connection from the earth away with artificial concrete and metal and stone and all that type of stuff to prevent you from being one with the earth. Our people never did that. Go down to the Mayans and see how the Mayans built their lands and their pyramids, their houses, and all those things. Those were our people way back then. Those was our people living in the Americas. We lived one with the animals, with nature. We only ate what we needed to eat, to live and survive and to feed our families. That's the only thing that we killed. But the Europeans made a sport out of it. They introduced all that stuff into our people, go out and hunt animals just for the game of it. Kill the bear, kill the wolf, show their mastery over everything, and then they begin to kill you. And then you saw the difference in their lives and your lives and how you lived and how they lived. You saw that, but now it's too late because you already invited them in. The Most High said, don't let them come in. Don't invite them in. Kill them, is what the Most High said. But you wanted to be their friends. You wanted to be in association. Neither shall you make marriages with them. Thy daughters thou shalt not give unto his sons, nor his daughters shall you take unto your sons. Now remember, earlier I mentioned that an Israelite man can marry any woman he wants, except for that forbidden nation. But in this instance, the Most High is saying, don't even allow your son to be married to their daughters, and don't let your daughters to be married to their sons. And the person would ask, well, what's the problem with that? Why can't I allow that to be? And this is what the Most High had to say. Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 4. He says, for they will turn away thy sons from following me. In ancient Israel, here in America, in these lands, in ancient Israel, we have something that they call the obelisk. What is that item called? The big head of a black man with the big lips and the crown on his head. They have something that they call, I'll forget the name of the item, but it's a grave, it's a stone that they found in the ground, a big stone that was found in the ground with ancient with ancient Hebrew written on it. Hebrew was written on this stone. And on this stone, it said, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not murder. Lo terzak, lo tiknav, lo ta'ane bet re'aka ad shakir, lo takmo bet re'aka, lo takmo eshet re'aka, we abdo, we amato, we shomero, we komero, we koyo asher la re'aka. The Most High had given all his commandments to the children of Israel. They engraved it on that stone. They put it on that stone and engraved it on that stone and left it. So that shows you they had the commandments of the Almighty. Our people was here way before these Europeans came. Way before some Indian from India or wherever they come from before they came, we lived here on this land. So we were aware of the law and we knew of the Most High of all creation. But the Europeans fed into this category of forbidden people for us to marry. Had we kept that law or recognized their bloodline and kept this law, we would have annihilated them the moment they got off the ships, but we did not. The Most High says, neither shall you make marriages with them, for they will turn thy sons from following me. And when they came over here, the first thing that they introduced to us was Christianity. And we haven't put that New Testament book down yet. The first thing they introduced to us was the New Testament. A New Testament. What is the need of a New Testament if nothing was wrong with the old, the original Torah of the Most High? What is there need for a New Testament? The New Testament was introduced to our people to turn us away from the Almighty. But so many of us don't. That's right, the Almec. So many of us, Blisk, yeah. So many of us don't understand the purpose and the teachings that follow. Sure, there's a lot of good teachings in the New Testament, and I agree with you. You know, there's a lot of great philosophy, a lot of great teachings, but the whole premise of the book was to turn us away from the Almighty and put our energy into another deity. And so many of us have fallen for that. They taught that to our forefathers. Slaves, be obedient to your slave masters. They taught that to our forefathers. And we follow pursuit. The Most High told us that they would turn thy sons away from following me. And they did exactly that. And now, 400 or 500 years later, we don't know who we are. Whereas we knew who we were and we left it engraved in stone who we were. Hundreds of years ago, right here in this land, we knew who we were. Now just imagine if we have never lost that knowledge and we staying in tune with the Most High, where we will be at today. So you ask me, family, can Hebrews marry European people? The Most High said they will turn your sons from following me, that they may serve other deities. So will the anger of the Most High be kindled against you and destroy you suddenly. They turned us away from serving the Most High and replaced the Most High with something else. A deity that's not a deity at all. Well, he is a deity because he's an artificial power, but he's not the Most High. And so many of us can't see that. And a lot of us come up into this way of life and we hear, we learn, we listen, and we read. And emotionally, we can't let it go because the European knew what they were doing and how they craftily designed what they did to infiltrate our minds, our spirits, because we're such a loving people. They knew what they were doing to keep us held hostage so that thousands of years later, it will still be in us, just like they taught us how to hate each other. It wasn't no mistake. They knew exactly what they were doing, and they're crafty at it. May the Most High be praised. So we're going to stop sharing that portion right there. I just wanted to bring that to light so that we would all understand what that process was about. They did that to cause you to stop worshiping the Most High. But if we had taken heed to what the Creator said, that portion would have never existed. We'd have still been on one accord with the Almighty. But because we allowed it to take place, now we're suffering the doings of our own hands. And so many of us are suffering some harsh and cruel punishments because we allowed it to be. And all of that took us away from the Creator. Back to the story of Nehemiah. Nehemiah chapter 8. And we're going to start at Nehemiah chapter 8, verse 1. And all the people gathered together as one man into the square before the water gate. When I read that right there, I couldn't move no further. Why couldn't I move any further? Anybody know why when I read that, it like broke me down a little bit? I had to shed a couple tears. Why was it at that part, when I read it, I had to really pause and whew. The reason why because it says that all of our people gathered together. And I haven't seen a day in my life where the majority of our people came together to do anything righteous. I haven't seen it. I've seen large church followings where a preacher would be out there and have thousands upon thousands of people in the audience. And a lot of our people was there. I've seen where a Muslim man, Farrakhan, had a Million Man March, and he had thousands upon thousands of black people out there while he spoke about the moon god. I've seen this happen, but I have never seen it done in righteousness with our people, where thousands upon thousands of our people were coming together for any positive, righteous movement. Haven't seen it yet. I pray that the Most High allows me to see it. Matter of fact, I pray that the Most High allows me to be a part of it. I would pray that he does. That would be a beautiful thing to see and to witness with my eyes, and especially to be a part of such a beautiful thing. You're right. You're right, my brother. It's not going to be a majority. It's going to be a remnant of a remnant of a remnant. And I understand that. All I want to see is that remnant of a remnant of a remnant do something in unity. Do it and stop talking about it, because that's what we do. But I want to read this and watch this. And the people gathered as one man into the square before the water gate. We gather together as one man. This is a powerful verse. Why? Not just that we gather together, but we gather together with one mind. And that's why it says as one man. People, our forefathers gathered together with one purpose and one mind as one man. That's a powerful thing. And that's what it's going to take today for us to reverse this curse, to come together with one mind as one man to make it happen. And I see again when my brother, Mr. Otter, says, the Creator has his remnant already. We have to crash the party. We have to make yourselves a part of that remnant. That's exactly what I'm talking about. The only way that we're going to come together with one body as one man is if we are a part of that remnant and we see the greater picture. There's going to be a lot of people that come in the midst of us that's not going to be able to endure. They're going to flee. They're going to run. That lets you know they're not a part of that remnant, because the remnant is going to remain intact through all the opposition. They're going to remain intact, and we're going to bring about something great in this earth. Are you worthy to be a part of that remnant? You might think you are. The Most High says something different. But all I'm saying to those who are a part of that remnant, it's time for us to rise. Let's stop talking about it and let's be about it. They came together as one man into the square before the water gate. Watch this. Something powerful is about to take place that later on they might regret because of what they did. And they told Ezra the scribe. Now these people came together with one accord as one man. They had a conversation. And in this conversation, they came up with a great idea, which was one of the best things that they could have done. And they said, bring us the book of the law, because we want to walk in accordance with the Most High's law. The beautiful thing at that particular time is that they was all together on one accord with one mind. So there wasn't multiple different interpretations of how to keep the Most High's law. There was one interpretation. Who did they ask to bring it? Ezra the scribe. Today, we have too many interpretations of the laws of the Most High. And that's why some people are keeping Shabbat early in the morning, on sunrise, on Shabbat, on Saturday. Some people keeping Shabbat Friday night when the sun go down on Saturday. Some people keeping Shabbat on a rotating shift, where the Shabbat could be any day, any seventh day after the new moon rising, and they're all over the place with their Shabbat, because we're not on one accord, because everybody do what's right in their own mind. All these things need to cease. No matter what your opinion is, move it aside, elect one official, and move to the tone of that individual. Somebody that, and then remember what I told you earlier, you can't find somebody who paint to teach you how to work on a car. You can't find somebody who build houses to teach you how to cook. You can't find somebody who break in people's houses and break glasses for a living to teach you righteousness. So therefore, family, what I do, I submit to you that you have to put yourself in a company of people that you want to be like, people you want to model yourself after, people who you in your spirit understand that these people, not perfect, but striving to be as perfect as possible and has a humble spirit. These are the people that you have to put yourself in close association with, in spite of what you might think. Let that individual guide you, lead you, instruct you. But when you start leaning on your own understanding, you don't need to be under that tutorage of that individual no more. You need to go. You can go and do what you see best for you. But as long as that individual is walking after the Most High, and you see the Most High smiling on that individual, no matter what happens, no matter what says, you do what your leadership has instructed for you to do. That's what leadership is in place for. And if your leadership is out of order, you go to the Most High on that leadership. And you explain to the Most High, hey, Most High, this don't seem right to me. You teach me and show me what I am to do and how I am to respond. Your leadership, the Most High just may say to you, well, this in a dream or a vision or however he speaks to you. And you have to learn the language and how the Most High speaks to you. He must just say to you, this is what I want you to do. I want you to go to your leadership in this way and approach him and give him, like he did with King David. He told the prophet to go give him a scenario. And David spoke on that. And the Most High said, this is you. You are the man. But yet the prophet Nathan obeyed what the king said for him to do. What the King David said for Nathan to do, he did. He didn't fight with David, but he went and approached the Most High, and the Most High gave him a message to take. We got too many people today want to be leadership, and they're not qualified to be leadership. Too many people want to be Maureen, and they're not qualified to be Maureen. And that's part of the problem today. Too many people walking around wanting to be something great, but nobody want to be a part of greatness. That's a sickness in our people. Everybody, not everybody, but too many people wants to be somebody or something great, but don't want to be a part of greatness. Any wise man knows that in order for you to grow and to be great and to be in position of leadership, you have to have powerful individuals who are able to run and operate their own communities. You have to have them in the circle around you. And that's what make you wise. You have to have powerful individuals, people who can think, people who can operate, people, if they was off to themselves, they could run a community. And you know how you can tell a lot of those people? Because they will be running their families. How you got a leader and he can't even run his own household? How you got a leader and he begging another man for bread to eat so he can supply the needs of his family? How you got a leader when the Shabbat day come around, your spiritual leader, he got to call the Europeans or Mexican or Indian or anybody other than the servant of the Most High for a day off so he can celebrate his holy days with his people. How is that your spiritual leader? How is that the one you look to for wisdom, knowledge, and advice and understanding when he's a slave to another man? On the highest degree of slavery, it's called employment. It's called a job. And as long as you're a slave to another man, you have a different master that you have to serve other than the Almighty. You don't have to be that way. You gave into that way. You felt that way was the easiest way for you. You didn't have to do that. You can open your own company. You can open your own business. You can strive off the feed, off the land. Most people will reject that, and most people want to be a slave to somebody else. We have to think, family. We have to think. The people came together. The people worked together. They built together with one mind, and they found one that they entrusted that was on the verge of righteousness with the Most High. And his name was Ezra. And Ezra was a priest. The people asked Ezra to bring them the book of the law. The book of the law of Moses that the Most High commanded to Israel. Now they call it the book of the law of Moses, not that it belonged to Moses, but that the Most High revealed it to Moshe, his word, and then he revealed it to the people. And so Ezra the priest brought the law, and the law is instructions, or the law, Torah, is teachings. So Ezra the priest brought the instructions and the teachings to the people, and he interpreted the way he understood it. One man. And that one man was the priest out of Aharon. Remember, because you could be a Levite and not be a priest. In order for you to be a priest, you had to be out of Aharon. You could be a Levite and not be a priest. That one man, Ezra, had about 8, 9 different priests in his circle. But yet they all moved on one accord with one interpretation of the law. That's where so many Israelites today fall short. We have too many people interpreting the law their own way. And let's say it's a large possibility that every one of us are wrong. And you got to understand this. There's a strong possibility out of those 50 different interpretations that every one of us is wrong. Every one of us could be wrong. But watch this. Even if we're wrong, everybody's wrong, but we're all doing one thing, then we're all right. And that's what we have to understand, because it brings about unity. It brings about consolidation. It brings about strength and organization. It brings about a blessing from the Creator upon what we're doing. And then if we're wrong, he will bring it about to be brought into righteousness. There's a scriptures that cover that. There's a scripture that cover that. As long as we walk together, and even if we're wrong, the Most High will see us as one, working on one accord, and reveal to us his way and how he would have for it to do. He will basically bless us even if we're wrong, but yet wrong together. And I wish I could remember exactly where the scripture is, because I know a lot of people say, man, that ain't right. Show me that scripture. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. Just an example. I do not know the actual location of the scripture, but I'll search it out. Maybe next week I'll bring it to you. Here's an example. It's about the pureness of your heart. In Sumeria, they practice idolatry in Sumeria. And Samaria is the northern kingdom of Israel. When you see Israel, then you see Judah. Those was actually 2 different kingdoms. Israel was the majority of the Israelites. Judah, he might have had 2 or 3 tribes, Judah, Levi, and Simeon, I believe, was all walking together in the tribe of Judah. They became known as the Judites or the tribe of Judah, but it was actually a compilation of 3 different tribes. But in Israel, they had the other 10 tribes over there, supposedly 10 tribes, and they all practice idolatry. You'll find this setting up in the book of 1 Kings chapter 11 is when it starts, and chapter 12 is where it breaks down about Rehoboam and Jeroboam. Jeroboam was made king over the tribes of Israel because they didn't want to walk with Rehoboam, which was King Solomon's son. And immediately when he got power, he established the lowliest of the people and made them priests and put them in high-ranking positions. And he was afraid that when the holy days came around, that the people will run back to Judah and keep the holy days. So he established over in Samaria holy days for the people to live by. Had nothing to do with the Creator. Now, in the midst of all that wickedness, the people was on one accord, and the Most High blessed them. The people began to commit idolatries against the Creator, abominations against the Creator. Even what they thought was right, they began to go against. And the Most High cursed them. And the Most High allowed another people to come in. The man's name was Tiglath-Pileser, Sennacherib's grandfather. He came in and he took our people off to another land. Persian Empire. That's how Esther and all her family got over there. They took some of them into the Persian Empire and scattered them all around the world because Tiglath-Pileser was a great conqueror. So what Tiglath-Pileser did, now we lived in that land for hundreds of years. Tiglath-Pileser, when he took the majority of our people up out of that land, he put a new people in that land. Not us, but some new people he put in that land. Those new people that he put in the land was under his governingship, his leadership, his rulingship. And what they did, because that land belonged to the children of Israel, they began to practice other things that wasn't accustomed to that land. Whatever religions and however they was living, it wasn't supposed to have been done because an Israelite didn't establish it. Although the Israelites that established that land was living wickedly. When he put those new people in that land, those new people began to do what they chose to do. And what did the Most High do? Now, all along while we was living there practicing idolatry, the Most High, he gave in to it. He compensated with it. He punished us, but he was punishing us to open our eyes by sending us prophets. And many of prophets came to us and would talk to us to turn us back to the Most High. But because we were the Most High's children, he had compassion on us. But the moment that outsiders got into that land, they began to practice all types of things that the Most High didn't approve of, just like us. But the Most High turned the animals of the field against the people. And people started walking down the streets and lions was jumping out, eating them. Bears was killing them. All type of animals was coming up, devouring the people. It got so bad. That Tiglath-Pileser had to go get the Israelites who he had kicked out of the land and bring them back to teach the people of the land how to worship the Most High. That's how bad it was. And they were idolaters, Israelite idolaters. But when they came back and established order and told them, do it this way, and this is who you got to do, things calmed down. So the Most High will tolerate us even if we are wrong because our spirit is in the right place until he teaches us the better way to live. Because we come together and we work together and we build. And the Most High is pleased with that to that degree until he's ready to take us to the next level. When he was ready to take the children of Israel to the next level that was living in Samaria, he would send them prophets. Some of the prophets they killed. Some of the prophets they would listen to. but they did not change their ways. They still practice idolatry, but the Most High said, these are my children, and I'm going to have compassion on them. And he dealt with us in a different way. Strange. But the moment that an outsider got in that land and started practicing idolatry, the Most High wiped them out. It's strange, the compassion that the Most High has for us in the time that he gives us to get ourselves ready for him in righteousness. It's strange. No man can explain those things. We all got theories and hypotheses and things we think, but nobody knows for sure. But it's strange how the Most High does what he does for us, his people, the compassion that he has for us. So we got Ezra the priest interpreting the laws of the Most High for us. Ezra the priest. And he has men around him, the Kohanim, that also walked in the tenet of the high priest or Ezra to do what it was that he had to do. Nehemiah chapter 8, verse 3. And he read from it facing the square before the water gate before the early morning until midday. He read, and he got people complaining, you class be too long, Prince. You be having too many classes. Ezra and Nehemiah, when they began to teach, they had classes. He read in the book of the law of Most High. Varikra, Nasfer, Nasefer, Basefer, in the book of the law, be Torah, in the book of the law. He read in the book of the law, there's two different words, Nasefer or Bisefer, in the book, Bid Torah, in the Torah, and then it says, Ha Elohim. He read in the book of the law of the Most High, the Creator, Ha Elohim. He read in the book of the law when? From Boker to Arab. No, he didn't. You know, he didn't read from Boker to Arab. He read from, what is that word that they use there? He read in the book of the law. Where we at? Somebody show me where we at. Until midday. From early morning. Now that word in Hebrew is not morning. They put morning there, but that's not what that word is. This interpretation could mean anything to you. Early morning could be 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, or 11 o'clock. To a lot of people, that's early morning. The Hebrew says from or, sun, or meaning light. He read in the book of law from light until midday or the afternoon. He read in the book of the law, and the word that they have for midday is makatz. Makatz or yom. He read in the book of the law from or to makatz. And in the afternoon, we have a word we call hotzarayim. All right. So he read in the book of the law from the crack of dawn. As soon as the light rose, how many of us are up there early in the morning that on the Shabbat, at what time the sun might rise at 5 o'clock in the morning? From 5 o'clock in the morning, we up to give praises to the Most High until the afternoon. So if he read that from 5 o'clock in the morning, let's just say 5 o'clock in the morning until the afternoon, they was reading the book of the law for 5 hours minimum. 5 hours minimum. We have a 5-hour class, people complaining, class is too long. We have a 3-hour class, break it down and have another 3-hour class. People are complaining it's too long. That's because the Spirit of the Most High is not there in you like you profess it is. What else you got to do on the Shabbat day than to worship this King? What else you got to do? We start at 5 o'clock in the morning till the afternoon. That's 5 o'clock. That's 5 hours. And in some places, the sun rises a little bit earlier than that. We don't start till 11 o'clock. We was going from 11 to 2 and then going from 4 to whatever time, 6 or 7. And people were saying, that's too long. That's too many classes. Our forefathers did not care about how long it took. They understood that we are worshiping the creator of all creation. They called for the book of the laws to be read to them. They wanted to know how to best please the creator, how to draw closer to the Almighty. So they asked Ezra to give us the books of the law and to read to us. They asked the Kohanim to explain the book of the law to them. And when the Kohanim was explaining, it was all on one accord. And they spoke to the people. And all of this was done. So Ezra the priest brought the book of the law in the assembly of the people, both men and women, and all who could understand what they heard on the first day of the seventh month. The first day of the seventh month, for many of you who don't know, is Yom Teruach. The seventh month is Itanim. The first day of the seventh month is the blow of the shofar, a loud blast with the trumpet, Yom Teruach. The Teruach is noise or voice or sound. That's Teruach in Hebrew. So this was all taking place on the first day of the seventh month, which is Yom Teruach. Verse 3, and he read from it facing the square before the water gates from early morning until midday in the presence of the men and the women and those who could understand. Now, in a lot of the Jewish places, all they want to do is speak to the women, to the men. If the woman comes, so be it. But they don't really deal with the women. Matter of fact, sometimes they put the women off to the side or they don't let them in. But according to the way that our forefathers did it, because we're not Jewish, according to the way that our forefathers did it, they spoke to the men and the women and all who would take notes to heed, to understand, because we had a lot of people in our land that walked with us that said they want to serve the Most High. Therefore, we had to explain to them as well so they'll know how to live and serve the Creator in our land. We're talking about Jerusalem in Judah. And Ezra, the scribe, stood on a wooden platform that he made for the purpose. Now, this was a little interesting here. He stood on a wooden platform to make himself a little higher than the rest of the men that was with him. All the rest of the men stood around him, but he himself was a little higher than the rest of the men so that the focus and the attention would be on him. Why? Because he was the leader. He was the spiritual leader of the community. He was the acting priest at that time. He stood on a wooden platform that they had made for the purpose. Now, his men elevated him on a wooden platform, stood him up a little higher than them. This is a powerful thing. None of those men, all those men, as I explained earlier, was equally qualified to go out and start their own movement. But yet they understood that it was about the people. They understood the power and unity. They understood the necessity to work together. So therefore, they didn't go out and start their own stuff, start their own lessons, start their own classes. They didn't do all that stuff. They worked right by Ezra. And in working by Ezra, they had the opportunity to speak to the people. Just their presence alone was profound before they even opened their mouth, because they was all together, and then they had that one man that they built the platform for, and they raised that one man up, said volumes of power to the people in the audience. Volumes of power. And Ezra the scribe stood on a wooden platform that they had made for him for that purpose. And beside him, now watch these names. Beside him stood Mattathiah, Shema, Ananiah, Uriah, Hilkiah, and Maaselah on his right hand, and then Pedaiah, Mishael, Malchiah, Hashum, Hashbaniah, Zechariah, and Mushallam on his left hand. Damn! There's some powerful stuff, family. We got to leave all this ego stuff alone. We got to build this nation because our people are suffering because too many powerful men want to be powerful by their own right. And they're watering down our strength. We need to come together to work together to build where one voice is the prominent voice and everybody else will be working their portion where they are. We are much more powerful when we stand together than any one individual who's moving by himself. Let the Christians have that. Let the workers of the New Testament have that. They can run a one-man show if they want to do it, but we have to begin to work together as a people. And the strongest of us stand up in the front and lead the people of the Most High. Each one of these priests that we're speaking about, each had a job. Each one of them taught the people, but they taught the people with one accord, not on their own. Let's watch this. And Ezra opened the book of the law in the sight of all the people, for he was above all the people. And he opened it. All the people stood. Look at the level of respect that we had for the Most High's book. Today, we don't hold that kind of respect for the teachings of the Most High, and not even for his book. We'll put his book anywhere. We'll throw it over there, put it in the trash, we'll burn it, we'll throw it on the floor. We'll do anything to the books of the Most High today. But in the ancient days, it wasn't like that. First of all, the Torah scroll was a relic that we held on to. It was something that was sacred. We held in high esteem. And we didn't just put it nowhere like where we sit underneath of our butts and disrespectful places. We didn't do that. Putting them all in the bathrooms and covering it up with all the books. It was sacred. Another book shouldn't even go on top of it if it's holy and sacred to you. Although it's just a book, it's just the things that are written in the book. We're talking about the spirit behind the book. I'm not talking about that book with those pages. I'm talking about the respect you show to the device that was brought to you to give you the word of the Most High. With all its errors, with all its fallacies, all its mistakes, it was enough for the Most High to leave on record for you to get what you needed to find true salvation and restoration for his people. We're reading out of that book right now, a digital version of it. And with all that we've spoken today, with this book in its present form, we've gotten a whole plethora of knowledge that can be utilized to raise up our people. A whole plethora of knowledge. And we have to remember that. And Ezra, he blessed the Most High, the great and powerful Most High, Elohim. And all the people answered, and they said what they said, lifted up their hands, and they bowed their heads, and they worshiped Ha Elohim with their faces to the earth. They worshiped the Most High, the creator of all creation, with their faces toward the earth. Family, I have to ask a simple question. When's the last time that you worship the Most High with your face toward the earth, with your face toward the ground? When's the last time you worshiped him in that manner? Taking time out of your day to give your energy, your effort, and your time to the creator of all creation. Watch this. Also, Yeshua, Bani, Sherebiah, Yamin, Akub, Shabbathiah, Hodiah, Maaseh, Kelta, Azariah, Hazabdah, Hannah, Peliah, the Levites. Now, these were Levites who were the teachers of the people, not the Kohanim, but the Levites. They helped the people to understand the law while the people remained in their place. Every one of them had a job to teach the people. They explained to the people when the people had questions, the interpretations of these laws. That's what they did. But everybody's interpretation wasn't in left field, wasn't in right field. Everybody taught the same teachings on one accord, which demonstrated power to the listening audience. They read the book. They read from the book, from the laws of Most High, Ha Elohim, clearly, and they gave the same sense to the people, understood, so that the people understood the readings. And Nehemiah, who was the governor, and Ezra, the priest and scribe, and the Levites who taught the people, said to all the people, watch what they said on one accord before the people. See, you don't see the governor, Nehemiah, trying to interpret the scriptures. You don't see the governor, Nehemiah, trying to tell Ezra what to do and what not to do. You don't see that happening. The governor, he has his job. The interpreter or the priest, they have their job. And their job is to teach the word of the Most High. And Nehemiah, who was a governor, and Ezra, the priest and scribe, and the Levites who taught the people, said to all the people, this day is holy to the Most High, your Elohim. Do not mourn or weep, for all the people wept as they heard the words of the law of the Most High. That's deep. The word of the Most High was so deep inside their heart. It was embedded in their heart. What it began to do as they began to hear it, it convicted them in their soul. And they began to see all the wrongs that they were doing. And they began to see the answer to the question that we're going to get to later. Can Hebrews marry white people? They saw that answer right there as Ezra began to read and the Levites began to explain. They saw the answer, and it grieved them so deeply that they had to cry. Because a lot of our forefathers had married foreign women and foreign men. A lot of our forefathers had taken wives of women that was told us we should not marry. We were forbidden to marry these individuals. And when we read in the book of the laws, we heard what the book of the law said, it caused us to cry. Why? Because we love these individuals that we were married to. Sorry to hear that, Mr. Otter. May the Most High bless his memory. And family, we're going to pause for just a minute to give a sign of respect for my brother and his family, Chief Moloch, son of Chief Eleazar, the great, the revered Eleazar that the Most High has blessed us with, who is no longer with us. His brother has just passed on. So we're going to give a moment of silence just to say a silent prayer on behalf of the family, because Chief Malak gave that permission earlier today. My condolences to you and the family, Mr. Otter. My condolences to you and the family. If you need to talk, we can talk. Just give me a call later on and we'll talk, and whatever we need to do, we'll do. May the Most High be with you, and may the Most High be with your family. And if you need to go, we understand, fully understand. We do. And I'm here in Philly, so if I need to come to New York, let me know. Just reach out and let me know, and I'll come up there and assist in any way I can. We have a brother here, Chief Malak, son of Chief Elazar. His brother has just passed away. It's the same brother that he speaks to us about every week, and how the Most High was preserving his life. This brother was dear to him, and he's expressing to us how much pain he in. And at this time, family, where everybody here, everybody in the room should be acknowledging that some type of way, because his brother was an Israelite who lost his life, his battle, his struggle. And we should all be, consoling him to the best of our ability at this time, because it could have been any of us, and it can happen to any of us. So, Chief, you have my condolences. And like I said, you let me know what I need to do. If I can do it, I'm there, and I'm doing it. All right, we're going to pick up where we left off at. We're going to pick up with Nehemiah chapter 8, verse 9. May the Most High bless the memory of your brother, Chief. May the Most High look after and protect his children, his wives, his Nashim, or his Isha. May the Most High strengthen him in the life to come.
Mm, 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 mm. Prince Kes, thank you for praying for me every week. And life is precious. Life is very precious. Creator giveth and he take it away. Blessed be his holy name. It hurt bad though. I just wanted to thank you, Prince, for everything you've done in finding out about my family. Thank you for praying for us. It's highly appreciated. Highly, highly appreciated. It's hard when you lose a loved one. You're highly appreciated, Prince. You're highly appreciated, my brother. You're highly appreciated, bro. That's it, man. That's it, bro.
May the Most High be praised. All glory, all honor, all praise belongs unto the King, the creator of all creation, our master, our owner, possessor of all souls. They all belong to him. May he be praised from everlasting to everlasting. He is worthy of all praise. So many lives have been taken just recently within this last year. So many people have lost their struggles with life. Their battles. It's almost no way that we can ignore death today and go on with life as if everything is okay. The important thing we have to ask is, what did we learn from that person's life that can help us in this life that we're living today? How have their lives impacted us? What's the blessing that we got out of it? What did we learn how to not do or to do through the life that they lived? It's not too much more we can ask. Our deepest condolences from the commandment keepers. Chief, to you and your family, may the Creator be with you and your family. Ima Sukari says, praying with and for you, your family, and many loved ones in these moments of tribute. Maisha says, deepest condolences to the entire family. Aim Katir says, sorry for your loss at Chief Moloch. Brother Asa says, my condolences to Chief Moloch, son of Chief Eleazar. May the Most High be praised. Now, a lot of you may didn't know Chief Moloch. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with you wishing him well. You know, the amazing thing is I just came back from Georgia, and I had to travel from Georgia to Florida for a funeral. Young man. But his father meant a lot to me. Genuine brother. And it's like not a month is going by that we're not losing loved ones. It's sad. These are the things of life. We have to do the best we can to prepare for it. But when your brothers or sisters or your loved ones lose, or someone in your association lose somebody, that is the time when you are to stop whatever you're doing and try to be there for them in the best way you can. In a lot of these instances, the only thing I know to do is go be with the family for that time by being present at the funeral. And if there's anything else that's needed from you, you'll know from the conversations that the family have with you. They don't need to ask you or lean into it. The conversations will let you know what their needs are. And if you can help supply those needs, do it. By all means, do it. I didn't have a whole lot of questions for the brother that I went to go spend my time with. You know, I saw that it happened and I was there. Couldn't have it any other way. Me and the brother, we talk from time to time. We chit chat, you know, make sure each other know that we still brothers no matter what. And when that time came about, there's no way that I can call him my brother and not be there for his family. Give me a second. All right. We gotta. I think that maybe we need to talk. Oh, and my brother right there, Brother Benjamin. Shabbat shalom, brother. All right, we like to close this class, man. I don't think we're gonna be able to move further today. Too much emotion running through the air right now, and I can't properly move forward. So we're gonna close out for today. All right, we're going to close out for today. So much is spiritual emotions is going on right now. Spiritual elevation, the realness of life is just shift our whole direction of our class. So let's do this. Let's say we ride this spirit as long as we can. Let's talk. Let's change the dynamics of the class and let's just talk. If anybody has anything that they would like to discuss, like to talk about, I just pushed the link in the room. I can't go on with today's class, or let's say I don't want to go on with today's class with all that has just transpired. We left off on Nehemiah, the 8th chapter. Create a will and next week we'll pick up on Nehemiah, the 8th chapter. So right now, I'll open the platform up to anyone who wish to come in so we can all speak, so we can talk about whatever it is that might be on your heart, your experiences that you've had recently with the love of a lost one, or anybody who you might be in your association that the Most High is called away from you and you want to elaborate a little bit, because a lot of us don't have people to talk to. And a lot of us walk around with this stuff bottled up inside of us for a long time, and we don't have the opportunity to express it. So before we close out, we would like to at least extend that invitation to anyone who would like to come to the platform and speak. And just know, if you come on the platform, nobody has to see you. You don't have to open up your face to be seen, but we can still hear your voice if you don't want them to see you. I don't think that it would be respectful of me to continue on in honoring so many who have lost dear loved ones within this past year. My own wife is sitting on here with her father just leaving us in December. And the brother you just saw, Chief Malak, Mr. Otter, his uncle just passed away like 2 weeks earlier. And now his brother just passed away. That's a lot of devastation for one family in such a short period of time. You know, it's something that you don't get used to. You shouldn't get used to it. If you do, your heart has been hardened. It's not something that we don't, none of us look forward to, but yet it seems to find its way in the life of us all. And it's going to. And we just have to prepare ourselves the best way we can for that. Brother Benjamin, thank you for having me, and to your beautiful wife. We greatly appreciate you all having us and allowing us to attend the funeral of your son, Sister Abigail. Thank you for embracing us. Thank you for allowing us to show what family is all about. Because that you did, and we did, and we worked together, we came together, and wherever the Most High takes us, we'll be there. But I didn't do anything that I didn't think that you all would do for me. All right, so I guess no one has anything that they would like to speak on. I guess nobody here in the audience is in any pain like I'm thinking. But I do know that a lot of us have lost loved ones, and the healing process is on its way. There are no words to heal or console a grieving heart. Only the Most High knows what each person goes through. May the Most High be praised. Absolutely. All right, we're going to shut it down for today, family. We're going to shut it down. We pray that the Most High be with you all. Before we close out, we're going to say a prayer. Is there anybody wishing to close us out with prayer today? You want it, Emma? You want the mic? Or you want to make prayer?
Yeah, I can make prayer.
Atalo Nita?
No.
Okay. No Atalo.
O Elohim, Ha Elohim, creator, provider of the world, one who knows, sees, and be all. We humble ourselves, we prostrate ourselves. We kneel and we stand before you, asking your permission to approach unto your throne. Toda Rabbah Most High. Toda Rabbah for bringing us all together on this day at this time to stand with one another on your holy Shabbat day, to profess the greatness that you are, O Most High, to testimony, to be a testament of your mercy, O Most High, of your grace, O Most High, and your patience with us, your children. Most High, we thank you for allowing us to be here as a family, as a community, to be able to support one another through the good and the hard times, O Creator. As Brother Asa said, there's no words you can really say to a grieving heart. But the best way to be for the people, for a person going through that, is to just be present in any way that you can, O Creator. Allow all of us to be present for one another who are going through this grieving time. Be with Ezra's family, O Creator, at this time. Because even when you know someone is sick and they pass, it doesn't change the impact that it has on your heart, your mind, your body. Be with his family, be with his Ima, most importantly, O Creator. It's nothing like having to bury a child that you brought into this world, O Most High. Strengthen her, O Creator. As my Ish says, strengthen his family, his Isha, his Yeladim. Creator, we have another family on the call who has also just recently, as my Ish talked about, experienced death in their family, Brother Benjamin and Sister Abigail. Hold them, O Most High, comfort them, strengthen them, O Creator. For the unexpected passing of a loved one is unexplainable, O Most High. Sometimes it leaves you of not knowing how to get up and where to go. But with your strength, O Creator, we all rise again. Most High, many of us on this call, and Kitar, who just recently lost her sister, O Creator. Be with her and her family, O Most High. Be with her children, O Creator, and her husband. Strengthen all of them, O Most High, that only you know how. As we know, so many are going through this process, back to back, close on top of one another. But having people there to lift you up, whether it be a word or just their presence, helps, O Most High, in so many ways. Sending food, sending water, whatever we can do, O Creator, allow us to be for our people. Continue, O Most High, to be with me and my siblings, and my aunt and cousins, and the people that my father touched, O Most High, and my family, my community. Strengthen each and every one of us, as I said, as you only know, Most High. We thank you, we honor, and we glorify your name. Creator, be with all those who are in the prison houses unjustly at this time, O Most High, and free them if it be your will. Be with those who are ailing in their sick beds, who may not be able to open their mouth to speak and call out and cry out unto you, but be with them, O Creator, if it be your will. Be with those who are fatherless and widow, O Most High. Guide and protect them. Teach us, O Most High, how to help those who are in need, whether we know them or not, O Most High. Be with unsheltered, O Most High, those who are finding houses in the different ways they can just to have covering, O Creator, from the cold, the heat, the rain, the storms. Be with all of our children, O Most High, through the hardships that they face in this world today. Each one of us had lived in a time where it was hard. We can only talk about our time from our experience. But this generation is going through some things that we didn't even think they would go through, Most High. And they don't seem to have the same strength, O Creator, to call upon you or call upon family for help. But please, O Most High, be with them. Creator, we just thank you for allowing us to be here together today on your holy Shabbat day. Despite each one of our individual pain and separation, you brought us here together at this moment, O Most High, to find comfort in one another, to find strength in one another, to stand strong with each other. And I pray that if we are doing your will, O Most High, that you will continue to shower your blessings upon us, O Most High. That you will continue to bring us together, O Creator, in righteousness. That you will continue to shine your grace and your mercy upon us, O Most High. And that you will open up our eyes to the things that we may be doing incorrectly, that we may be having whatever wicked thoughts, to purge us, O Creator, of those things. To allow us to seek you earnestly, to be great and perfect before you, O Most High. O Creator, we call on you to be with us and walk with us throughout this week, to return us to one another again on another Shabbat day. We thank you, we honor, and we glorify your high and holy name. And we all say, Toda Rabbah, Abi, Toda Rabbah, Selah. Thank you, Father, for hearing our prayer.
When I grew up, there was a woman, my brothers, one of the brothers of the brotherhood. His mother took good care of us. And her name was Imai Roof. And although I didn't speak to her every day, every month, we talked periodically from time to time, and she called me way more than I called her. She kept me in her Rolodex speed dial joint, called me all the time. And my mother, my biological mother, just called me yesterday and told me she passed. She'd been in the hospital. She had a heart attack a week ago. And yesterday when I got home, my mother called me and told me she passed yesterday. I didn't even get to the hospital to see her because I was in Georgia. But it's okay. It's all right. It's no big, we're not going to make a big thing out of it. So I'm expecting to be going to that funeral. They said they would have it before I left. Before I leave Philly, they're going to have a funeral. They already going to say they're going to arrange it. So it'll be one day this week. And then if, I don't know what's going to happen, but if Chief lets me know about his brother's funeral, then I'll be going there too. 2 funerals in 1 week. Death is all around us, family. It's all around us. And it could be any one of us. Any one of us. And that's why we have to live our life as pure and honest and as clean as we possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
It's like every month. And Aim Katir, you are completely right because you just had a loss as well. Your sister. So it's like I said, it's almost like every month. It's been just about every month we've had a death. And our prayers are still out with you, Aim. You know that. Our prayers are still with you as well. And you and the family of your beloved sister. So it's all around, family. And then some of us are sick now. I mean, sick to the point where any day we can lose, we can leave. Yes. And then there are some of us who ain't sick, who might get struck down by accident, a car crash, airplane, anything, robbery, anything. So life is not guaranteed to any of us. This is why it's so important that we get our spirits right now. So when the Most High call us home, we have nothing to regret. How many of us could actually pass right now and be laying on the hospital bed and have nothing to regret because you are already cleansed up and asked the Most High for forgiveness of everything that you've done, and you've turned from your wicked ways to begin to live a more righteous life? That's what you have to keep in mind, because what we just heard about today is definitely going to happen to us all one day. And the whole purpose of these classes, the whole purpose of us coming together doing these teachings is to prepare us for our return home to the Creator. It's in preparation. May the Most High be praised. Total Rabbah. And that we have to keep in mind, that the day of one's death is better than the day of one's birth. And Job spoke that very well. Job. Brother Benjamin said they would love to come on to talk, but they're a mess right now, and we understand. No love lost. We understand, truly, we do. May the Most High be praised. May the Most High be praised. May the Most High, our King, our Master, our Savior, may the Most High be praised. All right, family, we're going to conclude our class for the day. Im Yotze Yotze, if the Most High allows it, if it is His will. We'll see you all next Shabbat. If there's anything that anyone needs to speak about offline, just give us a call, reach out, and we can have those discussions. May the Most High be with you all. Shabbat Shalom Lakem.